Hello and welcome everyone back to a brand new Flick Pick live show. I hope you guys have your popcorn ready and your tasty beverage. I know I have mine ready, but it's an imaginary popcorn, but it makes me feel better about who I am and what I'm doing in life by having it right here. But yeah, today the main topic I wanted to start out with is talking about some upcoming VOD movies. Well, because that's all we have right now. Movie theaters are shut down. You have to stay in your house in quarantine mode, but some movies are being released on VOD, which is pretty cool. We can talk all about that. And then, as usual, we'll dive into your random topics, your questions, whatever you want to talk about. You guys know how it goes. But I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are staying safe. And most importantly, I hope you're staying inside and sanitizing your hands every 5 seconds like I am. Yeah, I just can't get enough Germ-X. I just want to bathe and cover it, put a little bit of my eyeballs. But yeah, high contrast. Thanks for becoming a member. Hi, Gambit X. Hi, everyone who's a member. Russ Rogers, John Burkett, Gambit X. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining me once again. This is as fun as it is for you guys to watch this. It's also therapeutic for me. You know, if you can't socialize out in public right now, we can do it right here together in the privacy of our home, and no one can judge us. Yeah, so if you guys want to dive into the VOD movies upcoming soon, that's what I want to talk about first. All right, so first up, coming to VOD, we have Bad Boys for Life, and I like Bad Boys for Life. You know, it's going to cost $20 on iTunes, Amazon, and Vudu, and it's going to be released on VOD March 31st. I have a movie review out for Bad Boys for Life. I actually was surprised by it. I thought it was going to be an abomination. It just looked like, why is there a third installment of the Bad Boys movies? I don't know. Cash? Maybe that's why. But I was pleasantly surprised by it. It sort of went off the rails in the third act because they're trying to open up this universe to have future installments of more sequels. And it got a little bit convoluted, especially with Will Smith's backstory and what they're doing with him. But I thought Martin Lawrence in that movie was the best thing about it. He's still funny. Like, why is Martin Lawrence not in more movies? It's a crime against humanity. Alex Guzman, hey, thank you for joining. Yes, thank you. Yeah, and so that's coming out March 31st. Are you guys going to pay $20 to watch Bad Boys for Life on VOD? In my opinion, it feels like that's not really that early of a release for that movie. It feels like that's when it was supposed to hit Blu-ray. It came out in early January, so January, February, March, that's 3 months. That's the typical time frame for most movies these days to hit Blu-ray. So yeah, it doesn't seem all that early. Dan Peters, hey, thank you for the Streamlabs donation. I can't talk today. It's been a long day, guys, and that's why this live stream is going up so late. So Dan Peters, thank you for the Streamlabs donation. Give us your real life Office Space moment. Where do I begin with that? There was one time where I used to work in a cubicle, and I remember sitting in my cubicle all day, looking outside of this little window beside me, and there was these guys that used to come mow the grass and lay mulch, and I used to look outside the window every day as they were out there under the heat and thinking I would give anything to be them right now. And then what I would do is I'd get up like a zombie, I'd walk to the bathroom, I'd just stand in the bathroom for 5 minutes doing nothing, just standing there looking at the wall, and then I'd leave the bathroom and go back to my shitty small cubicle and just hate my life a little bit more. That's sort of one of my Office Space moments. I never did beat the shit out of a printer, though I did want to. But yeah, that's never again will I go back. But thank you. And by the way, guys, if you guys have super chat questions, what I would recommend doing today is, because YouTube's sort of a mess right now. It's a long story. I'll explain in a few minutes. But yeah, I don't trust the super chats. I don't trust YouTube right now. So if you guys have like a question, use the link down below to Streamlabs. It's the same thing as Super Chats, except YouTube doesn't try to keep all of it, which is, beneficial. And you guys will still get credit. I'll still give you guys a shout out. And that's try to do that if you can. Or else Super Chats do work. So whatever you feel good with, we can do that. All right. Let's read some questions here. Hello, John. Did you like El Camino? What's your favorite Best Picture winner? Yeah, I'll answer all the random questions in a few minutes. Michael Leahy, thanks for the super chat. What did you think of Netflix The Dirt? I did not see The Dirt on Netflix. so I have no clue. I do occasionally watch the series Dirty Money on Netflix, which just makes you hate corporations even more than you probably already do. But I've never seen The Dirt on Netflix. All right, continuing on with upcoming VOD movies. The next one is Onward, and that's coming out March 20th on VOD, which it came out 4 days ago. This isn't the most topical news, but it's what I want to talk about. And that's on iTunes, Amazon, and Vudu, and it's $20 to buy. Now, that says $20 to buy. I don't know if you can actually buy it, or if that gives you like 48 hours to watch it. If you guys know, if you've done it, let me know. Or if you guys are pirating these movies, let me know. Which, please don't pirate these movies. Please, please, please. If it's a movie you truly want to watch, and you want to be able to watch the newest upcoming releases rather than have them delayed for the next 2 years indefinitely, and you can watch them in the comfort of your home, in the sanctity of your home, please just pay the money if you truly want to watch these movies. But yeah, as far as Onward goes, I have an after the movie reaction of that. I didn't do an official review, but I did a reaction video after coming out of the movie theater. You know, movie theaters, that place that we used to go to watch movies. I have that video. It's here on this channel. And I enjoyed Onward. I thought the third act saved the movie. It gave it that emotional punch that I think it needed. I wasn't in love with the first act of the movie. But yeah, I was a fan of Onward. I'd probably buy it on Blu-ray. I don't know if I'd pay $20 to rent it though on VOD. Probably not, but I would pay $20 to buy the Blu-ray. Night King 01. Thank you for the super chat. Current thoughts on Kevin Smith's Tusk. I have not watched Tusk in a very long time. It's been years. I remember me and Stuckman did a review of it. It was like, it was such a random day, but I sort of enjoyed it. I don't think it was the greatest Kevin Smith movie, but it was just bizarre to see Justin Long in a big rubber tusk suit or a walrus suit. Bizarre movie. It's sort of one of those movies you sort of have the idea when you're intoxicated, or I think that's how Kevin Smith came up with it, but not a diehard Tusk fan, but I did enjoy it the first time I watched it. I don't know if it has a lot of rewatchability though. All right, the next VOD movie coming out, it's releasing on March 24th. I was sort of interested in seeing this. It's the Ben Affleck movie The Way Back, which originally came out March 6th, but now it's coming to VOD in a couple days, and that's $20 to buy. And I sort of like underdog sports movies about a guy who has like a troubled past, who's coaching the underdog basketball team. I like movies like that. And that's a movie I never got a chance to check out in theaters, and I do want to check it out. But once again, I don't know if I can pay $20 for The Way Back. It's like I'll pay $20 to watch a newest blockbuster movie like Tenet or Black Widow, but to watch The Way Back for $20, I think I'd rather just wait and buy the Blu-ray or something along those lines. But if you guys want to chime in, give me your thoughts on some VOD movies that you would pay $20 for, or reasons why you wouldn't pay $20 for VOD movies. Let me know right here in the stream. Gambit X, The Exorcist, or Hellraiser. The Exorcist 3, I've seen that once. Hellraiser, I never really was a huge fan of Hellraiser. It feels like sort of false marketing. Hellraiser. I was always underwhelmed by the first Hellraiser movie. And I have a lot of reasons why. John Burkett, yes. Russ Rogers. All right, guys. I will get to your super chats. Don't worry, I'm trying to get to them. I want to get your guys' thoughts on the VOD movies and keep that as the main topic before we dive a little bit deeper. But I will get to these glorious, magical, mystical super chats, and thank you guys so much. And like I said, if you can, use the Streamlabs link down below in the video description. That way YouTube doesn't take a portion of it, which is always beneficial. And you still get that really cool gift that pops up with your name. All right. The next VOD movie coming out, I still believe... I no longer believe. All faith in humanity has been lost. Whenever you go into a store and you can't find hand sanitizer or toilet paper, your faith in humanity dwindles down to nothing. The next one coming out on VOD is Bloodshot, and that's coming out March 24th. Also, it's $20 to buy on iTunes, Amazon, or Vudu. I've yet to see Bloodshot. I don't really care about watching the movie. I feel like I just have better things to do with my life than watch a mediocre Vin Diesel movie that probably should have come out 20 years ago, and it looks like it almost did with the CG effects. a lot of those look like PS2 video game cutscenes. And I think the director of Bloodshot he was a director of some video games, and you can see it when you watch the trailers for Bloodshot. I just don't care. I don't care about Vin Diesel. I don't care about Bloodshot. The next one is Birds of Prey. Yay! I do in fact have a movie review for that over on the Flick Pick channel, and that's coming out the 24th. It's $20 to buy on Amazon, iTunes, or Vudu. I would say don't buy that. Actually, if you're going to pirate a movie, make that the one that you pirate, okay? I wouldn't buy it. Wouldn't recommend buying it. I wouldn't recommend renting it. If it was on Netflix right now, I probably wouldn't even recommend streaming it to watch it for free. Those are my thoughts on Birds of Prey. Sort of a mess of a movie. All right, let me dive into a few quick super chats from you guys. Dylan Arthur, thanks, man. Hey, John, are you working out at home during COVID-19? I have to resort to resistance bands and bodyweight training since all the gyms in California are closed. Yeah, you know, the crazy thing is movie theaters are closed, restaurants are closed, but my gym here, the chain gyms, the corporate gyms are closed, like Planet Fitness, but my main gym I go to that's really nice is still open. And they're like, well, we're taking precautions. We have more hand sanitizer wipes. And I'm like, there's no way you have enough to wipe every square inch. Unless people are wearing face masks and hazmat suits in there, it's not clean enough for me to go lay down in someone's pool of sweat. I just don't trust it. So yeah, as far as working out goes, right now I'm sort of just taking a break from it. And by taking a break, I mean being a lazy piece of shit that sleeps in all day and eating a lot of junk food. I wish I could go to the gym, but it's just not a risk I'm willing to take just yet. I'll probably give it a little bit, but I did go to a sporting goods store and I was looking into buying some home workout equipment. I do have some resistance bands I could use, but what you're doing is enough. That's sufficient to get a good workout. Or the other thing we're doing is we're taking hikes. Yeah, if you go out into nature, you know, away from society in the middle of the woods, you can run around, you can scream, you can do whatever you want, and, you know, you can get a little bit of a nice cardio workout. So that's sort of what I'm doing now. I would, if this is going to last for months and months, which I would predict it might last at least a few more months, I'd probably look into buying some dumbbells or something to use at home. Michael Leahy, did you like Pain and Glory by Pedro Almodovar? Yeah, I did not see Pain and Glory. I don't think I've seen Pain and Glory. Is that the I feel like I want to make sure that's what I'm thinking of. Is that the Civil War movie? Okay, absolutely not what I was thinking of at all. I was thinking of a Civil War movie from the early 90s. The film director reflects on choices he's had. Came out October 4th. No, I haven't seen Pain and Glory. Huh, is that streaming anywhere? It's in Spanish, so I take it there's subtitles. I haven't even heard of Pain and Glory. But yeah, I can look into it. But thanks for the super chat, man. I'd rather watch New Mutants and Wonder Woman 84 on VOD. I agree. You know, they haven't technically said they're going to release New Mutants on VOD, but I feel like it's only a matter of time before that movie finally officially gets released. And if ever there was a VOD movie that needed to hit VOD, it's New Mutants. You know, that thing's been in post-production hell for 4 years. It was supposed to come out in like 2017, then 2018, then 2019. So I think Disney should pull the trigger and release New Mutants to Hulu. That's what I would like to see, and I think that'd be a good test. Like, if you're going to pick a movie to test the concept of VOD and how successful it will be, I think New Mutants is a safe bet. Rob K, I'd pay $10 for VOD. Yeah, I think some streaming movies should cost $10. I think other ones, the big blockbuster films like Wonder Woman 84, should cost maybe $20. There were some rumors floating around. I heard an inside scoop of Warner Brothers possibly talking about $50 VOD movies per household. Hugo G. Ramirez. Hey, John, going through tough times. Your videos keep me happy. Thanks, man. Well, hey, man, I appreciate that. And thank you for the super chat, Hugo. And, you know, eventually everything will pass. It will get better. Or also to get really worse, and we'll go into the apocalyptic wastelands, and I'll become Lord Humongous. But it's okay as long as you guys join my cult. I'll protect you, and we all have to wear leather chaps, and I wear a hockey mask. Matthew Matioko. Everyone has the craziest last names. Why is no one's last name Smith? Matthew, all right. What film are you most disappointed to see delayed? If Tenet's delayed, which I could talk all about that, I would be extremely disappointed. Wonder Woman 84, I'm disappointed. I was really disappointed that Quiet Place 2 was delayed. And also the new Bond movie I was really disappointed by. You know, and I'm not going to lie, I was slightly disappointed that the new Fast and Furious Part 58 movie was delayed. I wasn't really expecting to love it, but I was like, oh, I want some good schlock to talk about on a YouTube video. So, yeah, a little bit disappointed. Nathan Hansen. Is Argo good to watch? I'm on an Affleck binge. You know, the thing with Argo for me was I never loved it. I was sort of disappointed when I watched it because I was coming off of a high from Affleck as well. The Town was one of my favorite movies, and it's probably one of my favorite heist movies of all time. I was like, man, this Affleck's killing it. And then he came out with Argo, and I honestly thought that was sort of an overrated movie. And I didn't love it. I think the story's interesting. The way that the movie was made and filmed and the visual stylings of the movie, I wasn't really fascinated with. So yeah, for me, I don't love Argo. I've just rewatched. You could watch I would just watch The Town again. Let me talk about. I have a few more VOD movies, and I wanted to get your guys' thoughts on, and I will dive into all of your super chats here. Frozen 2 is available on Disney Plus now. Yay! No one cares. Okay. The Hunt, which I have yet to see, it came out March 20th on VOD, and that's $20 to rent on Amazon, Vudu, or iTunes. And I just can't imagine paying $20 to watch The Hunt. Like someone said earlier, that should be a $10 rental. You know, those should be $10. The big one should be 10 or 20. But yeah, I do want to watch The Hunt. I do want to see it, but not for 20. And also you have The Invisible Man, which a lot of people loved. I liked. I didn't love it, which I did a review over on the Flickpick channel. That's also $20 to rent, and that came out on the 20th. So yeah. And also, last but certainly least, you have Trolls World Tour, and that's coming straight to VOD. The release date's April 10th. Don't get too excited, everyone. I know Trolls World 2 was one of your most anticipated movies of the year. The price is yet not confirmed. So yeah, and the crazy thing about the Trolls movie, what makes it most interesting is this is going to be the first of all the films that was actually supposed to go to a theatrical release that's going straight to VOD. Unlike the other previous films that did have a slight theatrical run and then hit VOD after the fact. So, if Trolls World, whatever it's called, can make some money, I think that'll be the gateway that opens up a whole bunch of other movies coming to VOD. At least I hope it is. So yeah, it's crazy times, and it's like the Wild West all over again, isn't it? It's like you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know which movies are going to come out. I don't know. I'm just hoping I can watch some new movies and not wait 2 years to do it. Night King 01, what's more entertaining, Rambo 2 or Commando? Rambo 2. I don't really love Rambo 2. Like, for me, it's the first one or nothing, or Rambo, the 2007 Rambo. I would probably go with Commando. If you want to watch just like the most over-the-top action movie, watch Commando. Like, it's amazing. You can't help but laugh when you watch the movie. High Contrast donated 5. Thank you, High Contrast. Thank you, and thank you for using Streamlabs. Don't let YouTube get their dirty hands on it. Yeah. Thanks for doing what you do. By the way, your Beetlejuice impression was legitimately the most accurate out of the Morgan Freeman, Tom Hardy, and others, though Mark Wahlberg is the funniest. Thank you, man. Thank you. My Beetlejuice impression is underrated, I would say. Hey, come here. Hey, come here. That's my Beetlejuice impression. Don't judge me. Daniel Culo, John, I'm from Brazil. Our president said COVID-19 is just a mild flu and wants to cancel quarantine. Why am I surrounded by idiots? Help me. Yeah, it's crazy. It's like though it could be a mild flu for you or me, it might kill someone else. So yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, why can't we just stay inside, like, or not go to public places for a couple weeks? Like, why don't we just try it for a couple weeks and see how it goes? Yeah, it's crazy. I don't understand people. I really don't. Phil Hendricks. Hey John, are there any deleted scenes you wish would have stayed in a movie? That's a good question. If you guys want to talk about that right now, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. Give me some deleted scenes that you think should have stayed in a movie. There's a few. I'm trying to think of a few off the top of my head. There's a few questionable ones, right? But there's one that comes to. I remember the one in Batman v Superman where he had Steppenwolf. They deleted that scene in the movie, but I don't think that was necessary, nor did I really care. There's also been a few alternate endings to movies that I always thought was bizarre. Like the original alternate ending to Die Hard 3 with a Vengeance was you had John McClane and he's sitting at a table with the villain and he pulls out like a bazooka and shoots him. like it's just bizarre. It's like the most bizarre ending ever. But I actually prefer it over the theatrical ending. But if you guys have a few that you guys think shouldn't have been deleted, let me know. I would love to see the deleted scenes from Star Wars Rise of Skywalker. Maybe the movie will make sense, or maybe not. Rando Commando 41, favorite scene from Parasite. Oh man, I like the scene where, and no spoilers, I guess. I liked the scene where they're hiding under the furniture. I'll just leave it at that. I liked that scene the most. But I also like the beginning of the movie where the family's just folding pizza boxes because it reminds me of when I used to work as a delivery driver. And when you didn't have any deliveries as a delivery driver at a pizza place, you were supposed to stand around in the back folding pizza boxes. And I never did. But it also made me realize just how dirty pizza boxes are. Like, all those pizza boxes, those delicious cheese pizzas that you eat, those boxes come in like a flat piece of plastic, and people have their dirty hands all over them folding them, and they just set them there, and they sit there collecting dust for days on end before they shove a pizza inside of them. It's just kind of a thing that no one talks about, but it kind of ruins pizzas a little bit. All right, let's dive into some more here. Trying to keep up here with you guys. Get Out has a pretty good alternate ending. Yeah, I don't think I've seen the alternate ending to Get Out. Army of Darkness is another one with a weirder alternate ending. Blade Runner Director's Cut is definite. Yeah, you definitely want to watch the director's cut of Blade Runner, or else you just hear like shitty narration by Harrison Ford. He just sounds like, well, he didn't want to be there in the first place. He didn't even think the narration was going to be put into the movie, but they added it at the last second. And he's just giving this really lackluster, unenthusiastic narration. It's terrible. I think that's why I didn't like Blade Runner the first time I watched it, because I watched the theatrical cut. Right. Rip Spring and Summer. Yeah, 2020 was canceled, guys. We're just gonna have to make it through 2020 to get to 2021. This year, it doesn't matter. This year doesn't matter. Put an asterisk beside this year and move on. What is the worst Star Wars movie? I don't know. Probably Rise of Skywalker. Honestly, I think Rise of Skywalker for me might be the worst. I mean, no, that's not fair. The clone. Well, yeah, I'd go with the prequels. The prequels were a little bit. That's tough to say though. Honestly, I think the most disappointing was Rise of Skywalker for me. I think if that was the conclusion to the saga, it failed. That's how I feel about it. All right. Michael Leahy, hey John, did you see the Zac Efron Ted Bundy film? I think I watched part of it. I would recommend watching the documentary about Ted Bundy. It's a series on Netflix. It's much more fascinating, and you don't have to look at Zac Efron. But yeah, I think that's the route you should go. I didn't watch all of the Zac Efron Ted Bundy movie. It just didn't feel that cinematic to me, and I didn't care about it. I already knew all the information from the documentary series. Patrick John, hey Patrick John, big supporter and also a Patreon supporter. So nice to see you here, Patrick John. Hope you're doing well, man. Hey John, how are you doing today? Just saw Onward the other day, and whoa, definitely my favorite Pixar movie. And I know no one will agree with me. It gave me everything I wanted. It's like a modern Lord of the Rings. It's definitely gonna get snubbed and looked over. I sort of agree. It's baffling to me that some people love certain Pixar films and then skim over other ones. And I thought Onward had a really good emotional ending. It made me feel something, and I related to it for all the same reasons the main characters did. From my own personal life. So yeah, I enjoyed it. I liked the journey that it went on. I liked the fantastical like Dungeons and Dragons vibe of the movie as well. I thought it was a nice little twist on things. So I think it does have some. I'd have to rewatch it again to really judge the rewatchability, but you know, it's like it's just crazy. It's just like Frozen 2 made like $1 billion, but Onward barely made any money. I don't know. Then again, this whole situation didn't really help with theaters closing. So, all right, Alex Guzman. Hey, Alex, do a Morgan Freeman impersonation. I can do that for you. My name is Morgan Freeman, and I have coronavirus. Is that good? I don't know. All right. I hope you were satisfied with that, or completely underwhelmed. Andy Summers, thanks for the super chat, Andy. I haven't heard anything about Spiral. Did they delay that movie as well? I believe it was delayed. I'm not sure if there was a confirmation on that. I think I read something that it was delayed. But you can rest assured every movie that was supposed to come out theatrically for the next 3 months is delayed. If it was supposed to come out in the next 3 months, it's not happening. And the biggest question is now, will it hit VOD? That's the biggest question. It's just what is going to hit VOD, what's not going to hit it. And I'm hoping the trend does continue because nobody wants to wait around for 6 months to watch a new movie. I know I don't. So yeah, Scott Welsh, hi from Manchester, England. It's late here. Have you been watching WWE with no capacity crowd? It's a little weird. Don't get scared now, but they're doing a good job in my opinion. I think they're doing okay. I mean, they're doing what they can. I do watch WWE. I usually skim over. I record it and I watch. Like if there's a 3-hour episode of Raw, I usually end up watching 20 minutes of it because I just keep fast forwarding through all the mumbo jumbo. Yeah, I think it'll be okay. I think WrestleMania will be really underwhelming. It's essentially taking place in a gymnasium with no one watching it. The spectacle is gone. You know, for me, wrestling, like many other sports, one of the most fascinating things about it that make it enjoyable and energetic and thrilling to watch are the live crowd reactions. And when you take that away, it's sort of like watching like a superhero movie without CG. Like it's a little bit underwhelming. Scott Welsh. Oh, I just answered that. Sorry. Grim Silo. You're casting a Nightmare on Elm Street prequel before Freddy's death. Who plays Freddy Krueger? It could tell a different story than the previous films. You want me to come up with that off the top of my head right now? This is not the day. I don't have the brain power or the capacity. If I was a battery right now on your phone, I'd have 2% left before I die, right in the middle of when you truly need me the most. But yeah, I was sort of disappointed that the last Freddy reboot didn't go as well. I thought, I always forget his name. Haley Ermy, I forget his name. Warshak, that's what I call him. Yeah, I was disappointed that they didn't do another one. I thought he was an okay casting choice. As far as casting a new Freddy, I don't think you can replace Robert Englund. if you're going to have a new Freddy Krueger movie, just have Robert Englund come back. As far as a prequel goes, before Freddy's death, I don't know if that's a movie I'd want to see. The thing about Nightmare on Elm Street films is it's Freddy. You don't want to see the humanized version of Freddy. You want to see Freddy when he has his powers and his fantastical abilities, when he can haunt your dreams and control you like he's playing a video game. Yeah, by the way, Freddy's dead. What an abomination. So yeah, I'd like to see Robert Englund return. Rick LP. Thanks for the super chat. And by the way, Patrick, thank you for using Streamlabs. Thank you so much. Rick LP. Dude, your Batman and Robin Hilariosity review with Stuckman was classic. Any chance we can get another one of those? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe down the road. Possibly. Maybe. I'm not sure. It's sort of Stuckman's series, not mine. So I just tag along for the ride whenever he invites me. I'm down anytime. You know, I love talking about shitty movies. It's always fun. And the crazy thing about that video was we made that like 5 years ago. It's just time flies. It really does. Claudio Rogajan. Hey, man. Thanks for the super chat. Do you like Brock Lesnar as a wrestler? I think Brock Lesnar is sort of a spectacle when it comes to the industry. The thing about Brock Lesnar is he brings believability to it. So when you see Brock Lesnar, you're like, okay, that guy actually fought for a living. He can beat people up. I buy into what he's doing in that environment. So I think sometimes Brock Lesnar is a good thing. Sometimes I think when he doesn't show up for 3 months when he's the champion, it kind of hurts the product. But I like Brock Lesnar when he's used right. I liked him in the Royal Rumble. I thought he did a really good job. Tom Yostin. Hey, John. Late to the party. Have you had the chance to see Richard Jewell? Thought it was pretty cool. I have not seen Richard Jewell yet, but... Duh! I have it. Have it right here, man. Still in the plastic. Need to watch it. Kind of savoring the flavor, to be honest with you guys. I'm sort of just... Some movies I haven't watched yet, I'm sort of like, I will watch it in a time of desperation when I'm completely bored. But yeah, I do want to see it. I've heard good things about it. I'm a huge Clint Eastwood fan, so... A. Charles Ross, a.k.a. Phantom Lock Creates. What an intense name. I never saw Avatar. Thoughts on them doing 4 more? You've never seen Avatar? How have you never seen Avatar, man? Like, how? How have you never seen it? I think that's a... You know what? People can say what they want about Avatar. I like Avatar for what it is. It's an immersive experience that gives you pure escapism. And I think in a time like this, when society sucks, this is the best time to watch films that are just pure entertainment. That's what Avatar is. It takes you off to another place that's happy and has bright colors, and it'll just make you feel better about what's happening and who you are and what you're doing in life. Am I excited about 4 more Avatar movies? I'm excited about the next one, right? So if the next Avatar movie's good, that gets me excited about 3 other movies. If the next one sucks, well, it doesn't get me all that excited about watching 3 more movies that sort of might suck. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, though. And I did have an idea to talk about an Avatar. I wanted to do a video talking about the first Avatar film. I was kind of saving it until the upcoming one gets a little bit closer to a release date or comes out on VOD because theaters might not ever open up. But thanks for the question, man. Tom Yostin. Hey, John, late to the party. Have you had the chance to see Richard Jewell? I already answered that. I'm sorry, guys. You guys know I get confused. It's crazy. Don Bruno, Richard Martinez, Ala Zalaba, Via Vizinskias. Hey, Don Bruno, longtime supporter, man. Thanks for joining in, man. Hope you're doing okay, Don Bruno. Don't be afraid now, my boy, Johnny Flicks. It's just me now. Don't remember your review. Finally saw A Quiet Place. I could not suspend my disbelief for 5 minutes. I was pissed by the end. Thoughts? I have a deep dive spoiler review all about A Quiet Place on my Flick Pick channel from a couple years ago when the movie came out. I think Stuckman joined me on it. I liked it. I really did enjoy it. There's some issues with the movie, but any post-apocalyptic movie you're going to have issues with. So I liked it. I liked it for what it was. Are there things that are questionable? Absolutely. Are there things that maybe I would have changed? Possibly. Would I go to a waterfall and scream if I knew sounds would attract vicious creatures that wanted to eat me? Probably not. Would I live in the middle of a farm? Probably not. I'd probably live in a barricaded facility in a bunker underground, not in a farmhouse. But that's just me. I don't know. But I do understand your complaints, and thanks for the super chat, man. But with that said, I was super excited for A Quiet Place 2, and I'm just disappointed we're not getting it. Richard Franco. Hey, Richard, how's it going? What's up, John? Have you checked out Tiger King on Netflix? It's wild. I've heard a few things about Tiger King. I have no clue what it even is. I want to look into it, but I haven't watched it yet. But thank you, man. I wish I had more to say about it, but I don't. Is Tiger King good, everyone? Do you enjoy watching it? I saw it on Netflix and I went over it, and but maybe I'll get around to it. Patrick John, thanks for the Streamlabs donation. John, promise me this: when will you kill someone in the post-apocalyptic wastelands? Will you scream, "Try getting a reservation at Dorsia now, you stupid fucking bastard"? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if that's the first thing that would come to mind. I don't know if that's the first movie quote that would come to mind. Possibly. Maybe. I don't know. I sort of just want to be Lord Humongous. I just want to give empty threats about leaving the fuel and I'll spare your lives. And then I wear a domination suit with my metal hockey mask. And I'm all oiled up and muscle bound. And I got... Yeah. By the way, I've been thinking a lot about doing a video about Mad Max Road Warrior. And just how crazy and bizarre that movie is. Especially now. I think it best relates to now. But there's so many things I've always watched that movie that's always like... Why are people wearing assless chaps in the apocalyptic wasteland? Why? Why is that your why is that your attire choice? I don't know. Night King 01. Who is the best Mad Max, Mel Gibson or Tom Hardy? Mel Gibson. By far Mel Gibson. I like Tom Hardy. I love Fury Road, but I don't think Tom Hardy was one of the shining best things about Fury. I think Furiosa with Charlize Theron was the highlight of that movie. Mad Max was just... Or Tom Hardy as Mad Max was really mumbly. I thought he was okay, but man, I was like, what are you doing, Tom Hardy? What is this performance you're giving? Mel Gibson's awesome. He has so much charisma as Mad Max. You want to get out of here? Talk to me. I saw a tanker 2 days ago that could haul that rig. You guys know my Australian accents are shit. Football. Hey, John. Thoughts on 70s Texas Chainsaw Massacre? I think I have the steelbook of it back there. I've always liked it. It's such a dirty, seedy movie where you can see all the film grain, and I love that it's shot like that. I always liked it. I also liked the Texas Chainsaw Massacre reboot with Jessica Biel from back in, like, what was that, 2001, 2, 3? I don't remember. It's one of those 3 years. I always sort of liked that movie. I thought that was actually one of the better modern day remakes of a horror film. Was the one with Jessica Biel. Ricardo Franco, man, thank you for the super chat. What post-apocalyptic movie have the last few weeks felt the most like to you? Last few weeks, I think the most similar one might be something like Contagion. I think that might be the most similar one. I don't think like Zombieland Double Tap or World War Z is quite... we're not to that extreme yet. So probably Contagion. Also, by the way, earlier we got a question about like deleted scenes, and I just got reminded by it talking about Avatar a few minutes ago. But if you go watch the extended cut of Avatar, there was like 8 additional minutes, and some of those scenes take place on Earth, and they show like this really crowded Earth city setting, and a few people are wearing like ventilation masks. So I'm having that sort of just like, I feel like that's our future. Like, it's really crowded and people are wearing masks to avoid viruses. And I'll be Jake Sully with my little skinny legs. All right. Ben Soros, thanks for the Streamlabs donation. Hey, John, this might be a little personal, but I was watching some of your old videos and I'm wondering what happened to you and your past girlfriend. We broke up. I moved on. That's what happened. Nothing crazy. I wish there was a more interesting story to tell you. But yeah, that's what happened. All right. Claudio Rogajan. Do you think people even still care about the Avatar franchise 11 years plus? James Cameron literally admitted it's a ripoff of Dances with Wolves. Everything nowadays is a ripoff of something. But then again, let me ask you this. Did Dances with Wolves have 9-foot-tall blue aliens fighting in mech suits? I'm waiting. No, it did not. And that's what I want to see. If you want to watch Kevin Costner ride a horse and pretend to be an Indian, go for it. That's fine. But I'd rather see blue aliens. I've seen Dances with Wolves maybe once. Do I own the Blu-ray? Maybe, possibly. I'm not quite sure. But yeah, I like movies that go to other universes. I just want pure escapism. And if it wants to borrow, let it borrow. Every movie borrows. Don Bruno, Richard Martinez. My boy Johnny Flicks, have you seen an action item recently followed by an email? WTF? Have you recently seen an action item followed by an email? I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean by that. What is your most anticipated might come out of some media format this year? Hello, lady friend Amber. He is a really good guy. What's your most anticipated might come out of some media format? I'm confused by these questions, Don Bruno. As far as my most anticipated media format, like movie coming out on Blu-ray, possibly, I'm going to go with that. When I first heard about Star Wars 4K being released, I was excited. I got really excited, right? And I'm sure you guys did too. And you look deeper into it and you read the article and they're like, oh no, it's just the versions that George Lucas screwed around with and tampered with, and those are going to be on 4K. So that disappointed me. I don't understand why they don't release the original cuts of the Star Wars films on 4K, untampered with, untouched. Give us those. That's what we want to see, right? I'd go pay that amount of money to buy those versions of the Star Wars movies. And also the other thing about the upcoming Star Wars 4K set is it's like in this big box. It looks like a board game. Maybe there's another version of it. I know like the Blu-ray version is coming in a smaller box, but the 4K version is like a board game box. It's like this long, and I hate releases like that. They don't fit anywhere on your shelf. They don't look right. And I didn't think the artwork for it was all that great looking. All right, you guys are killing it with the Streamlabs and the super chats. You guys, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Daryl, thank you for the Streamlabs question here. What do you think of Goldberg taking the title from The Fiend last month? I think WWE doesn't know how to write storylines anymore, and what they did is they essentially wanted to take it off The Fiend, give it to Goldberg, a guy that people wouldn't mind see losing the title at WrestleMania, to give it to a guy that people didn't want to see win it, but by taking it from someone the lesser, or the more... I think Roman Reigns is the lesser of those two evils. No one wants to see either of those guys as champion, but they'd rather see Roman Reigns, a full-time guy, get the championship. So I think that's why they did it. But it was a terrible decision in the first place, and now it kind of bit them in the butt because now there's not even a live audience. So it wouldn't matter if people were going to boo Roman Reigns anymore. So that's what I think about it. All right. Patrick John, thanks for the Streamlabs donation here. John, stop adding videos to your to-do list. It's going to be 2050, and you're still going to be saying, yeah, guys, the best and worst 2019 is coming really soon. Just finishing a few things. You make a good point. But with that said, it is coming soon. I promise you, there's 5 videos coming in the next 6 days. 5 videos. They're coming. Trust me. I had to wait. The hold up right now with the videos is each one of them have a sponsorship because YouTube pays me nothing. So I have a sponsorship on each one of those videos. And the thing with those is everything's on a delay right now because a lot of people aren't working. A lot of people are working remotely from home. And I was having some issues with YouTube recently. So yeah, that's the hold up. Claudio Rogajan. Dances with Wolves had muscle-bound Indians. It did indeed. It did indeed. Azim the Dream Reviews. Rank Burton and the Dark Knight Trilogy. Miss 1 SC top. What is SC? Miss 1 SC top? What does SC mean? You guys, abbreviations right now aren't penetrating my brain muscle tissue right now, guys. Honestly, I like all the Nolan Batman movies more than I like the Burton ones. But the Burton ones follow right after the Nolan ones. And I've said this once before and I'll say it again. I like Batman Returns a little bit more than the 89 Batman movie. For me, it's just more rewatchable. I think the villain of Danny DeVito's Penguin is much more intriguing. And I liked how he was flawed. I thought his backstory was more interesting than Jack Nicholson's Joker. I thought the prosthetics, and I thought Danny DeVito was extremely underrated as a villain, as Penguin. And also, you also had Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, right? So Batman Returns introduced more villains, but they perfectly balanced them and gave you 2 great actors portraying these villains that were both charismatic and great and stood out. The biggest complaint most people have with Batman Returns is, there's not a lot of Batman in it, but there's not a lot of Batman in any of the Batman movies. And the thing about Batman is he's the protagonist, right? He's the solution to the problem, and those movies usually focus on the problems, the villains, which I don't mind. So yeah, did I answer your question? I feel like I sort of did. But if I had to go, I'd say Dark Knight and Batman Begins are a toss-up for me. On one day, it might be Begins. The next day, it might be The Dark Knight. Then after that is probably The Dark Knight Rises, and then Batman Returns, and then 89 Batman. All right, Ethan Holgate. It's James Cameron, John. I highly doubt Avatar 3, 4, and 5 will suck. Why would they have spent a decade writing? You know, the thing is, they didn't really spend a decade writing. James Cameron sort of admitted that he didn't start writing those until like 2016, and I don't even think they were finalized. They were still being finalized when they were like 2 months away from production. I remember him talking about the first few scripts. So yeah, I don't think he actually spent, I remember he developed the story for a long time. But as far as the scripts being finalized, I think those were still in development, almost up until the production date of the movies. I remember reading about that, and I think even James Cameron came out and said that like in 2015 or 2016 when they kept delaying the movies, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's coming next year. I'm still working on the script." So yeah, I don't think they're gonna suck. I really don't. I think they're gonna be fun films. I'm hoping that story-wise, they still have something to do by the 5th movie, right? Like, tell me how you're going to drag this out 4 more times. I want to see it. Don't get me wrong. Bernardo, thanks for the Streamlabs donation. By the way, guys, please, if you can, forget super chats and use Streamlabs. The link is down below. I'll tell you why in just a few minutes. But yeah, if you can, please, I'd appreciate that. But if not, it's okay. I still love you. Shh, don't tell anybody. I've grown a weird obsession to watching your old videos. I spent the whole afternoon yesterday binging them for no reason. Well, thanks, man. That's not weird. It's not weird. I mean, that's not something you want to tell people in public. But yeah, there's some good stuff in those older videos. Sometimes I go back, and not to sound narcissistic, but it's always fun to go back and watch older videos you made like 5 or 6 years ago because you completely forgot that they exist. And some of the shit I said, it still blows me away today that I said it. But I enjoy going back and watching them. There's some good stuff, especially, when you go on, if you have a vlog video, and it's sort of like, it's like going back in time, right? We can't quite do it, but when I go back and watch an older video of me from 6 years ago, it's like I get to go back in time just for those like 7 minutes of that video and relive that day. It's sort of fascinating. And it's always fun to see how things once were before the dark shade that was cast over us nowadays happened. A time when things were simple and you could go outside and you could shake people's hand without fear of dying. I remember those days. But thanks, man. Thanks for going back and watching those older videos. Means a lot. Don Bruno. I left you an action item. Sent a follow-up electronic mail. Nothing to show for it. Update me on the DL. Yeah, I will. If you sent me an email, I will look, man. Sometimes I miss emails. Sometimes emails go into my junk file, and so I will check it after this for you. What movie that should have seen wide cinema release? Not anymore. Now we'll see it in some other form. Got you. Okay. As far as your question goes, which film do I want to see now? Probably being released to VOD that was going to hit theaters. Honestly, I'm disappointed by it, and since we're all on the topic, and by the way, Don, thank you for the amazing super chat. I do appreciate that. I think Tenet. Tenet's my most anticipated movie of 2020. And not to see Tenet in a large theater environment is sort of a disservice to the film. And I think that's how Nolan feels, because he's also he's working closely with theaters, and he wants to move Congress to give theaters a bailout amidst the crisis going on, because, well, they're not making any money and they're losing money every day that they're not open. And there's probably no way major theaters can withstand not being open for the next year or 6 months. So, yeah, with that said, Nolan, I don't think Nolan wants to release Tenet on VOD, because he's a purist. He's all about the theater experience and the immersive environment that the theater gives you. That's how he likes his films to be presented. If it was up to Nolan, he would never have his films show up in a digital release at the theater, where essentially you're watching a hard drive version of the theater projected. He wants that 70 millimeter film reel to be shown. So yeah, if it's up to him, you'll probably never get a VOD of Tenet. But I think at the end of the day, it might be up to the studio. And if you're a director, do you really want to delay your movie for a year or 2 years? I don't know. Maybe. It just depends how much of a purist you are. But yeah, Tenet's what I want to see. But if I have to, I will watch it at home. But I would prefer to watch it in the theater. Mandy donated a Streamlabs donation. Well, thank you, Mandy. Very much appreciated. If you were a wrestler, what kind of gear would you have? Trunks, singlet, or tights? Seem like a tidy whitey's briefs type. Yeah, probably not. The thing is, I think genetically my legs aren't a selling point, so I would probably wear the tight pants. And I'd wear like the padded boots that go up to like the shin protector boots. I'd probably wear something like that. I'd probably wear something like Seth Rollins wears. Maybe something like that. Possibly. Or I dress like Kane from the Attitude Era. And I'd wear a mask. I don't know. Or Mankind. I dress like the Gobbledygooker. That's what I dress like. If you don't know who the Gobbledygooker is, well, you're not a hardcore wrestling fan, or you can Google it. Either way. But thank you for the question. Zaby Studios. What are your favorite thoughts? What are your thoughts on The Shallows 2016? Also, which book to film adaptations do you think are the best? Good questions. And thanks for the super chat, man. The Shallows 2016 with what was her name? What was her name? Shallows. I did watch the movie. I always forget her. Sorry, the shark movie. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, there it is. Blake Lively. Whatever happened to Blake Lively? Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was actually an okay shark movie. I thought it was intense. I liked that she was stuck on that rock and there wasn't much she could do. I thought that aspect of it was pretty good. It sort of feels like it didn't need to be an hour and a half movie. But yeah, I remember enjoying it for the most part. And every time I watch a movie like that, I put myself in that situation. Like, what would you do? And it definitely, I probably wouldn't have swimmed to the bottom of the ocean at the end of it. But yeah, I remember sort of liking it. It's definitely better than like 47 meters down, that's for sure. As far as book to film adaptation, for me, I think probably Stand By Me, which was originally called The Body by Stephen King. And they did make some changes. I know, I don't remember all the little changes and nuances that they made, but I think that's Stand By Me is one of my favorite movies of all times. So I would say that's one of the best adaptations. And speaking of Stephen King, I'd also say Shawshank Redemption is a great. That was like, what was that, a novella or whatever. But yeah, I think that's got to be the best adaptation of any book to a film. It has to be. And originally, if you guys didn't know, Morgan Freeman from Shawshank Redemption in the book was actually a white Irish guy. So that's why you hear hear the line in Shawshank about Morgan Freeman thinking that he might have been Irish in another life, or maybe it's because I'm Irish. All right. Night King 01. What is your favorite Coen Brothers film, John? Favorite Coen Brothers film? Probably The Big Lebowski. Yeah, well, hey man, there's a beverage here. Definitely The Big Lebowski. That is a film that feels like it was sort of made for me. I love the comedy. John Goodman in that film, when he freaks out and overreacts to everything and he's just on edge, fucking hilarious. Mark it. Over the line. 9-year-olds, dude. 9-year-olds. Yeah, I love that film. The funniest scene in Big Lebowski that no one else laughs at, but for some odd reason, every time I watch it, it cracks me up, is when they're doing the drop-off of the money and John Goodman, ringer for a ringer, and he jumps out of the car and the machine gun starts going off. I laugh my ass off every time that scene's on there, but I'd probably go with Big Lebowski. I love Fargo. The thing about Fargo was it was one of those movies that took me years and years to appreciate. But yeah, oh, don't you know? I done told you the car's not here. Yeah, I also love Fargo, and Raising Arizona is really good, but those are probably my my top two. All right, let's keep diving into the questions here. Bernardo. Why can I not read? Bernardo, what David Lynch films have you seen, and what did you think of them? I've seen a few. Never been a huge David Lynch fan. Hang on, sorry. Trying to catch up here. A lot of windows open. As far as David Lynch films, a lot of people told me to watch Lost Highway. Never seen that. The Elephant Man, actually, that's a really good. Elephant Man is good. I watched the Elephant Man one time late at night. It creeped me out as a kid, but I'll never forget it. Dune, which they're remaking, which is supposedly supposed to come out in December. I watched Dune, didn't love it. There's a lot of David Lynch films that people love, but I don't. For years, people have told me to watch Blue Velvet. I have yet to see that. The Straight Story. Maybe I was told to watch The Straight Story a long time ago, and I promised someone that I would. It's about a man, I believe, driving across country in a lawnmower. Is that what it is? Yeah, a retired farmer. Yeah, I want to watch that. But yeah, not a huge David Lynch guy. I don't. Beach Bum 0331. Thanks for the Streamlabs donation, Beach Bum 0331. Tiger King is about a gay redneck who owns a tiger zoo, is in a feud with a woman who might have killed her husband by feeding him to tigers. That's all it about the first part of an 8-part series. Interesting. I'm not gonna lie, you sort of just sold me with that premise. that sort of sounds really interesting. I kind of want to watch it now. Yeah, maybe we'll look into that. All right. Azim the Dream Reviews. SC equals super chat. I'm sorry. Yes, of course it does. My super chat all the way up top. By the way, do you think Cobra Kai Season 3 is going to be delayed as well? Will we see the Batman plus a lot of 2021 movies on VOD? Azim the Dream Reviews. Yes, Azim. Thank you for that. Do I think... I know a lot of movies and a lot of productions are delayed right now because of what's going on. Last time I checked, the Batman was being delayed for 2 weeks. I think that will probably get extended much longer. But last time I checked, it was still on schedule to come out on its release date. So I don't know. I just assume everything that's supposed to come out will be delayed. Unless a movie's ready to go and it's ready to hit theaters. Will we see it in theaters anytime soon? Probably not. But VOD is a possibility. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't really have the inside scoop on all these things. I hope that they come out when they should, but I wouldn't count on it, because if you're going to delay production, that means you have to delay the release date because you can't make the movie in time. Mandy, thanks for the Streamlabs donation. Boxers or briefs? What's your favorite brand? I actually wear compression. Is this a real question? I wear compression underwear. I like to feel snug and tight. And something about spandex. I guess spandex compression underwear do sort of make you feel like a WWE wrestler. And sometimes before I go outside, I put a little baby oil on the biceps just to get a glimmer and shine. Then I'm sorry. I was reading the rest of your question. My boyfriend's a big fan of yours. He said he would like to meet you and have an arm wrestling match with you over the top style. Yes, as long as he can provide the baby oil. I will be there. Wearing spandex. But actually now, no. No baby oil. Provide the Germex instead. You can't have contact with other people right now. Claudio Rogajan. There's one thing you and Chris never admit about Batman Begins. The fight scenes in that movie are terrible, rapidly edited, and choppy with quick edits. Yeah. I mean, I guess. Yeah, I think that was sort of Nolan's style. You know, the thing is, then he went the opposite route, right? He went from those fast, quick edits to like overly extended takes with The Dark Knight Rises. If you watch the Bane Batman scene, some of those scenes, like some of the fight sequences go on like a little bit too long, right? Yeah, it's like that's the one thing Nolan, I would say he's never truly mastered, was like the fight sequences, the choreography when it comes to his... I know he likes things to look ultra realistic though. But yeah, I think that's the one that's my minor complaint. But then again, I sort of liked the low key aspect way that he does have fight sequences. I don't know. I don't disagree with what you're saying. I really don't. But it was never something that I was so focused on where I was like, oh, that's a weak point of this movie. Because some of his action sequences are really good, but some of the fight sequences, I do get what you're saying. For me, one of the best Batman fight sequences was the Batman warehouse fight scene in Batman v Superman. All right. Ethan Holgate, did you see Alita Battle Angel? John, I loved it. I did see it. I did see it in the theater. I did not love it. I didn't love it. I thought there were some subplots and some storylines, especially with the bounty hunter aspect, that was like, okay, are you going to tell me more about this or keep skimming over it? Like, can you either dedicate time to this or just completely get rid of it in your movie? I did like the future dystopian vibe. I thought it was fun to look at. I just felt like there's a lot of subplots in that movie that came, they went, they happened. It sort of felt like a little bit messy of a script, especially with the whole scene where she's like, they do the rollerblading thing. I remember that scene sort of just felt like tacked into the movie. And then by the end of the movie, there's one scene that I laughed at, and you weren't supposed to laugh at it, but I don't know why. I couldn't help myself. and I don't want to spoil the movie. I will just be as vague as I possibly can if you haven't seen Alita Battle Angel, and if you have, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. There's a head that there's like a little head of someone that's just a head, and they drop it, and you see it float off into the distance, going ah. I don't know why. I can't help but laugh when I see it. But in all fairness to the movie, I do need to go back and rewatch it, and I do have I have the 4K version of Alita Battle Angel. I bought it around Black Friday. All right, Ethan Holgate. James Cameron wrote that Robert Rodriguez directed. James Cameron wrote that Robert Rodriguez directed. Which movie are you referring to? Oh, James Cameron wrote. Yeah, yes, Alita Battle Angel. Yes. I know James Cameron wrote. Did he officially write all of the screenplay? I know he heavily produced it. But also a long time ago, before Avatar, James Cameron actually, I think he was the one who purchased the rights to Alita Battle Angel because he wanted to direct the movie. That's what I remember vaguely. Patrick John, thanks for the Streamlabs donation, Patrick John. John, do you think SJW agenda bullshit in movies will go back to normal like the hippie phase in the 60s and 70s? I have nothing against leading women in movies. I love them, but not when some political agenda comes before the story. I don't disagree with that. Yeah, if you have to stop your story in a movie and bring it to a crashing halt, and then stop and have some reference to a political message, yeah, that's not for the best of the movie. That's not for the best of the story, and that's inhibiting the story and the creativity. I don't disagree with you. And the thing is, nowadays, it's like they want to bash you over the head with the SJW movement, right? It's like back in the 80s when you had an action movie, or in the 90s when you had an action movie starring a leading role with a woman. They didn't beat you over the head. They just said, hey, here's the story. This is what you have. We don't have to stop to explain it to you. You just got it, right? You had Ripley from Alien and Aliens. You had Sarah Connor and T2 Judgment Day. I don't know how much better of a female version you can have. But yeah, I don't disagree with what you're saying. Bernardo, tips for starting a Blu-ray collection. Yeah, you just buy the movies, man. You just buy the movies that you want to buy. Eventually, more movies will accumulate. You put them on a shelf. Occasionally, you look at them. Eventually, you have enough of them to fill up an entire shelf. You put that said shelf behind your head, and then you do live streams on YouTube. And that's what I've done. Yeah, my thing was, at one point in my life, I wanted to buy like every movie on Blu-ray. Not every movie. But I wanted to buy just like every Blu-ray, right? And then it got to the point where I was running out of space. And I got to the point where I was like, if I don't feel like watching this movie once in the next 2 years, why do I own it? And I started only buying movies that had rewatchability that I really loved. So that would be my recommendation, not to waste your money. Buy the movies that you love and you actually do want to watch. Dave, thank you for the Streamlabs donation. Goku or Vegeta? Vegeta. You guys know I can't pronounce anime names. Probably. Someone's gonna kill me for pronouncing it that way. Probably Goku. I think he has better muscle definition. Yeah, probably Goku, right? Can he be beat? I don't know. Monica, can we see your abs? What abs? I haven't been to the gym in weeks. I'm turning into Flab. I'll look like Danny DeVito's Penguin in another 2 weeks. So absolutely not. I have nothing to show you. Here. There. That's all you get. All right. Thoughts on the Maze Runner trilogy? I never loved it. Never loved them. I thought the newest one that came out sort of had like it was fun. But they're all instantly forgettable movies. Actually, you know what? I actually think the first one was the most entertaining, because you sort of had the mystery of why they're in the maze. And then you realize why they're in the maze, and you're like, oh, that's sort of like the most typical young adult reasoning ever. But yeah, I enjoyed the first one. I remember liking the build-up with the mystery behind it. All right, guys. Let's answer some more questions here. John, you butchered that name. I know. Please don't judge me. John, have you seen Outbreak on Netflix? Yes, I have. I watched part of it on Netflix. I did see the movie years and years ago. I think, or like in the late 90s when it originally came out. Yeah, the thing about Netflix, they are definitely catering to that disaster outbreak zombie apocalypse vibe right now, which I don't know if it's helping anything. But speaking of like disaster movies that'll either make you depressed or feel slightly better about the situation going on, I watched 2012 the other day with John Cusack, and that movie it's fun. Okay, all that movie is like terrible story, a terrible script, and then in between all that, the movie's only made to show you big CGI shots of them escaping the most over-the-top disaster sequences of all time. That's all that movie's hinged on. But it's fun. It's enjoyable. That's the best thing about that film. When John Cusack's driving a limo and they're trying to escape LA and there's a giant donut chasing them. It's like a live action cartoon. But I did watch that, and that's I don't know if I would say it's a guilty pleasure, because I don't get a lot of pleasure out of watching it, but it's slightly enjoyable. Can New Mutants just go to Disney Plus? I do hope it does. I think it might. I think Disney's sitting back and saying, okay, how will Trolls, whatever it is, perform on VOD? If that movie makes some money, maybe we'll test it out with New Mutants. That's what I would imagine they might or may not do. All right. Let me scroll through here. I don't want to miss any of your questions here. All right. I think I caught up. All right. Favorite wrestlers of all time? Probably Stone Cold The Rock. Mick Foley. Probably. I'm an Attitude Era guy. That's when I started watching, so those are like my top three. Azim the Dream Reviews. You misses 2 of my super chats up at the top. Well, I will get to them. I will not miss them. I will get to them. I promise you. Just give me a second and I will get there. All right, let's go to the next question here. Do you prefer Amazon or Netflix? I like the functionality of Amazon the best. I actually think some of the video streaming on Netflix, the compression looks a lot better than Amazon Prime. And also a lot of Amazon Prime movies look like really bad. Like they got like the early film version of it, and it's like a really crappy transfer that they digitized and released on Amazon Prime. If you go back and watch some older movies on Amazon Prime from like the 80s or 2000s, they don't look remastered. They're showing you the non-remastered version. Maybe the rights to it were cheaper or something. But yeah, I think Amazon Prime sometimes throws in a lot of fun random movies, like, I don't know, Mad Max Beyond Thunderdome or something. Over the Top's on Amazon Prime right now. But I think Netflix overall has a much better selection. Ooh, someone just gave me... Ooh, I like this question. Night King 01. Take on the Three Musketeers, childhood favorite. As well, it's a childhood favorite of mine, too. I love the Three Musketeers with Oliver Platt and Chris O'Donnell from 1992. Yes, I love that. It's on Disney Plus right now. I watched it the other day. That's a guilty pleasure of mine. Yeah, something about the movies that take place in like that time period, of like Musketeers or medieval movies or like pirate movies. Those are just some I those or like even sword and sandals movies like Gladiator or Troy. I love time period movies. Yeah, but as far as as far as the Three Musketeers go, if you haven't seen the movie, well, do I recommend watching it? Probably not, but it's enjoyable. It's sort of like a little hidden gem from the early '90s by Disney, and it's so corny and hokey, but at the same time, it's a good time, and it stars Charlie Sheen. I don't know if that's a selling point for you, but Charlie Sheen's in the movie. Yay! But yeah, I liked the movie because it has like it shows like these dungeon scenes, and they have this guy who's like I don't know a executioner style guy, and like I like him walking around in the dungeons under the castles. It's hilarious the way he dies, but yeah, I like it. If you've seen the Three Musketeers, please chime in and let me know. It's just like Chris O'Donnell. What's happening? All right, the next question is. Yes, I'm getting to the questions. I promise you, I will get to as many as I can. Hook. I hate Peter Pan. Hook is a great movie as well. That's another. Yeah, Hook to me is also comparable to like Three Musketeers. Hook is way better, but it's like in the same genre of like feel good movies. John Gomez. What's a TV show that ended too soon that you'd bring back? Mine's The Chappelle Show. Yeah, I loved The Chappelle Show. Yeah. Charlie Murphy, shoot the J. Yeah, I agree with you on The Chappelle Show. Claudio Rogajan, did you see Paul W.S. Anderson's Three Musketeers? No, I did not. I just remember there's like a flying boat. There's a flying ship in the movie. And it just looked like the most overproduced, bad Hollywood idea. It's like, how can we remake the Three Musketeers in the most terrible way possible? I know, and then that's what the Paul W.S. Anderson movie was. The trailer was enough for me. Brad, thanks for the super chat, Brad. Favorite Stanley Kubrick movie? I always get asked that same question on every single stream. But thank you for the question. I would probably go with probably maybe The Shining, and I always say the first act of Full Metal Jacket is also my favorite. I do have a fun story about going to see the the Three Musketeers as a kid, and I remember this very vividly. It still haunts my dreams every night. But yeah, I'm trying to catch up here. There we go. All right. Yeah, as a kid, I remember we went to see the Three Musketeers with my dad and my uncle. And I was in the back of the car, and I was eating these like hard candies called Sprees. They're like little round disc candies that you eat. And we were driving down the road, and it was after the movie. And I chewed on one, and like I bit it in half in a weird way that it became like a sharp, dangerous object, a choking hazard, as you would say, as a young stupid kid. I guess I forgot how to swallow for 5 minutes. And I remember swallowing that piece of candy, and it got lodged in my throat, and I couldn't breathe. And we were driving down the road, and then my dad started panicking, and my uncle just happened to live on that same road. So as I was choking to death, I was immediately rushed into the house, and they gave me like a big glass of water to like choke down, and that like dislodged the candy, and it saved my life. So that's what I remember from the Three Musketeers. So I guess in a way, the movie almost killed me. Azim the Dream Reviews. Okay, I'm reading your earlier super chat, Azim. No worries. Did you watch other YouTube videos before you put your own review? I feel like I have to avoid repeating someone, but flip side, I don't want my opinion changed. Got it. Okay. So do I watch other movie reviews before I put out my own movie review? Typically not. I actually try to go out of my way to do it. Because I agree with you. I sort of don't want to be influenced by someone else's review. But at the same time, it's one of those things. I remember years ago, and there was many times where it'd be like Stuckman or Jeremy Johns. And the thing is, you can't help but say a similar point that someone else makes. you know, if you do movie reviews long enough and you notice certain things, there's something that's going to be obvious that I think everyone who reviews the movie is probably going to mention. And if you don't mention that valid point, that criticism, then people would be like, why didn't you mention this? So you almost have to mention it. But there was a few times, I remember years and years ago, I was watching like someone else's review and I was uploading, I shot mine, I edited the video, and I was uploading it, and it was like at 92%, and I was like, okay, let me watch this review, and it might have been like a Jeremy Johns review or something. This was like 2015, and we both made the same identical joke. We said it just slightly different, but we made the same joke, and I was like, fuck. So I remember thinking, okay, that sucks. So rather than, you know, someone saying, oh, you copied this person, I went back, I stopped the upload process, went back and edited that part out and redid the video and then re-uploaded it. But the thing is, like, you know, you never want to intentionally say the same thing someone else says. And sometimes it happens by accident. There's not much you can do. But yeah, I always, if for no other reason, that's the only reason I usually watch someone else's review, is so I don't say the exact same identical thing. But sometimes it happens. What can you do? But honestly, when it comes to YouTube videos, the ones that I watch the least of are movie reviews. That's just me personally. I don't mind making them. I like when you guys watch them, but when it comes to like watching other people's reviews, I rarely ever do it. Like, I would rather watch a vlog video or something that relates to movies that's not necessarily a movie review. That's just my thing. All right. What is the date today? All right. Come on, YouTube. Stop lagging. Okay. I think we're good there. Sorry, guys. I got like 15 windows open, and I don't know what's happening right now. But thank you guys all for joining me. Oh, 372 of you, I believe. All right. Do you think DC should just stay with R-rated, darker movies instead of the cinematic universe? No, not at all. Actually, I think DC has found a lot of their new success with going the lighter route. You know, with Wonder Woman or Aquaman, just making movies that go for it. And I think what they're doing is, I think that the universe is dead as we know it, but they're not going to admit that just yet. You won't see many crossover movies. But one day they will somehow retcon everything that's happening. But right now, I think they want to just milk all the properties that are working, like Wonder Woman and Aquaman, and make as many sequels as they can to those movies before they have to make like a conclusive universe that simply won't work anymore because, well, their version of Batman is no longer in existence. The new Robert Pattinson Batman, that interpretation won't work alongside Aquaman or Wonder Woman, and we don't really have a Superman anymore. So yeah, it's sort of a mess, right? But I think certain things work for rated R movies in the DC universe and other things don't, but really it just comes down to a script. If you have a good script, you'll typically have a good movie. So I don't think every DC movie needs to necessarily be rated R. All right. I watched Tusk as a young kid and barely remember anything. I might rewatch it before Easter. Dude, you gotta watch Hook, man. You rude crew bag of pre-food chew, dude. I want a party. I want a cookie. Me. I. Hook is phenomenal. Russ Rogers, yeah, because the whole movie supposedly had a subplot involving, oh gosh, can't say that word on YouTube, very similar to the Hollywood pedo ring and was exposed. Absolutely. Alex Guzman, thanks for the super chat, Alex. Tom Hernandez, thoughts on Kevin Smith movies and Knives Out? All right, yeah, let's answer some more questions here, guys, as I figure out where to read them from. Okay. All right, let's answer this question from Tom. As far as Knives Out, I want to hold it as I talk about it. because I'll give you guys a quick inside tidbit about myself. And maybe if you guys are like me, you feel the same. Public speaking. Here's the thing about public speaking. If you're holding something, I find it much easier to speak. And I think it's sort of the same thing that goes with like an actor, especially with Tommy Wiseau. If you're holding something as a prop, you can almost evoke more emotion holding it, right? It gives you like a little tool. So by holding these, it makes me talk more fluidly about these movies. Knives Out. Yeah, my eye itches. Everyone hang on 1 second as I itch my eye. Okay, I feel better. The thing, I liked Knives Out. I didn't get a chance to see it in theaters. Enjoyed it. I was surprised by it. Did I guess the conclusion by the second act of the movie going into the third? Yes, but the first 2 acts of this movie, I thought were phenomenal. And not to say that the third act's not great. I did enjoy it, and I was... Good job, Rian Johnson. Good job. Make more movies like this, which I think we are getting a sequel. Knives Out 2 was announced, I believe, and greenlit. But don't make any more Star Wars movies. As far as Kevin Smith movies go, Kevin Smith himself... I would say Clerks 2. Most of the Skew Universe movies I really enjoy. Mallrats I really enjoy. I like those films. I like the sort of laid-back conversational films that take place in like everyday locations. That's just my personal preference, and I cannot wait for Clerks 3. I cannot wait. That is one of my most anticipated movies, and I think he's writing it right now. So hopefully it doesn't get delayed too long. All right. Jay Dolan 74. Thanks for the Streamlabs donation, and thank you guys for the Streamlabs donations and the Super Chat donations. Honestly, guys, thank you so much, and it does mean a lot. It does help make these live streams possible. But if you can use Streamlabs, once again, please go that route, because YouTube takes a very large percentage of the normal Super Chats as opposed to the Streamlabs, and it's just like, why, come on, YouTube. And plus, I could tell you guys a story right now. I don't know if you want to hear it. It's about YouTube. If you want to hear the story, let me know. I don't want to bore you, though. As far as Jay Dolan's question goes, shameless self-promotion, watch my film, The Vanishing of Sydney Hall. It's free on Amazon Prime if you're looking for something new. Love your show, analysis, etc. Wish you had a letterbox page. Everyone's like, get a letterbox page. And I'm like, I can't. It's too much effort. I don't feel like updating it I would have to spend like 6 days updating it. And the thing is, most of my opinions on movies are located on YouTube, if you want my opinion. Or I do have a Stardust. I have an account on Stardust where I put up my initial reactions to movie trailers, new movies, or random old movies that I watch. I put up like these 30-second reaction videos. So you can follow the Flick Pick on Stardust if you want to, which is an app. And you guys can also post your reactions, which is really cool. But yeah, definitely check out, watch his film, The Vanishing of Sydney Hall on Amazon Prime. And I'm going to write that down to look into it, man. I'll check out your film. Vanishing Sydney Hall, Amazon Prime. Okay, I wrote it down. I'll look into it. I have time. All right, Nathan Taylor. Thanks for the super chat, Nathan. What is your favorite honest trailer? Favorite honest trailer? None of them are ringing a bell right now. I don't recall one off the top of my head. And I haven't honestly watched an honest trailer in probably years, or not recently. I don't know. Off the top of my head, there's many I've watched and probably enjoyed, but to give you one off the top of my head, I do not remember. I remember, wasn't there one for Indiana Jones Kingdom of the Crystal Skull? I thought that was a pretty good one. I remember liking that. But fun story, I actually remember having an idea that was similar to honest trailers before honest trailers existed. And it definitely used the voice. But that was back at a time when you couldn't quite get away with using any footage in YouTube videos, back in like 2010. My version probably would have been a lot shittier too, but I did have a similar idea. Dan Peters, thanks for the Streamlabs donation, man. Thoughts on the movie Panic Room? Yeah, that's sort of an underrated David Fincher flick. I liked it. I like Jodie Fincher. I like the concept of the Panic Room. It's not one of my favorite Fincher flicks, though. If I'm speaking of his movies, I haven't watched it in a long time. I remember liking it. I liked it's sort of a nice, fun, simple movie that takes place in one location. But yeah, for me, I'm more of like I'd rather watch Seven or A Girl with the Dragon Tattoo or something along those lines if I'm gonna watch a Fincher flick. Bernardo, I meant which and where do you think are the best places to buy Blu-rays? Also, which horror films have scared you, and have you seen the VHS films? Yeah, I've seen all the VHS films. I have a review of VHS 2, I believe, over on the Flickpick channel. I think that's the one I have a review for. I liked them. I think the first one was the best. I think after that, the concept started sort of losing its touch a little bit. The first one was awesome though. And thank you for clarifying your question. I'm sorry. Sorry if I was too stupid to understand it, to be honest. Yeah, as far as starting your collection goes, if you want to buy a whole bunch of movies cheap, you can buy Blu-rays very cheap now. If you go to eBay and look for lots of Blu-rays, people are selling 50 to 100 movies at once. Sometimes there's like a few good movies, a lot of crap ones, but you might get lucky. Go that route. Also, what I did for many years was I went to pawn shops, and if you have pawn shops near you, you can go in there and find a lot of movies. Some of them are right now. It's a scary thought to go dig through used movies at a pawn shop. Maybe wear some latex gloves. That's what I would recommend doing. But go to like a local pawn shop or a used media store. But pawn shops are probably your best bet because you can buy Blu-rays for like a couple of dollars at a pawn shop. I mean, that's the best route to go. Cool 121212. That username rolls right off the tongue. Rank the Rocky movies least favorite first. How about I just say my ABCs backwards right now for you guys? Okay, my least favorite Rocky movies first. Rocky 5 with Tommy. That was terrible. Then after that, probably Rocky 3 with Clover Lang. And then I like Rocky 4. You could arguably say from a critical standpoint, it's probably worse than Rocky 3. But the thing I like about Rocky 4 so much is it's just training montage sequences and 80 rock ballads. And it has one of the best training montages of all time where he climbs a mountain. And then you have Drago training. The way he's screaming as he trains always just gets me every time. I love it. And then after that, probably the second Rocky, which is it's great, but not that memorable. The second Rocky movie, and by far the best one is the first Rocky. And then I actually forgot to include Balboa in there. So somewhere in the middle. Actually, I think Balboa is probably my second favorite right after the main Rocky movie. Yes, we'll go with that. All right. The rate, when you guys ask me to rate top 5 movies and then include directors and cast and list them, it's hard to do that off the top of your head during a live stream. Keep it simple, guys. Keep it simple. Henrik Sanchez. Do you swing your tail around during tense scenes? 10 scenes? I don't understand that. If I had a tail, I would swing it around. Sometimes I might take it and go, meh. I hope that makes any sense to you. It doesn't even make sense to me. Is that a reference to the new Cats movie? I don't know. Patrick John, thanks for the Streamlabs donation. So sorry, John. Responsibilities have called and I gotta go. I'll definitely watch the upload version later. Well, thanks, Patrick John. Thanks, man. And big thanks for joining me. And Patrick is a longtime supporter and a superstar here on the streams and Patreon. So thanks, man. And I'll see you later. Carter Lovejoy. Have you seen The Peanut Butter Falcon? I have seen The Peanut Butter Falcon. I watched it on a flight home from the Vegas CES in early January, which, by the way, I don't think we're going to have another CES anytime soon. But yeah, I watched it on a plane ride, and I liked the movie. I thought it was a really good movie. Like, the first 2 acts of Peanut Butter Falcon were really intriguing. I liked it. It was a heartfelt story about this kid with special needs. I liked Shia LaBeouf in the movie. And I was like, oh man, this feels like a real movie. And then the third act got a little bit too heavy-handed for me, because essentially this kid who has like autism, I believe, he wants to become a professional wrestler. And listen, if you guys have been watching the stream right now, you guys know I'm a hardcore wrestling fan. And I liked that was like his desire. I liked that's what was like driving this kid, and he just had like this dream of being a wrestler. And the movie sort of reminded me of the movie The Wizard, which is a movie like with the backbone based on video games in the early 90s, starring Fred Savage, where he has a younger brother who has special needs, and he's taking him across country to go play in the national video game tournament of Super Mario Brothers 3. But yeah, in Peanut Butter Falcon, I enjoyed it. And then by the third act, when the kid starts wrestling people, I was like, I don't know about this. It just, that's where it took me out of it a little bit. But man, the build up to it, the journey was really good in Peanut Butter Falcon. Russ Rogers, do you watch All Gas, No Brakes on YouTube? I do not watch it. I don't even know what that is. Joshua Garrison, I would like to go to a pawn shop looking for Patrick Bateman when he goes to check on Paul Allen's apartment. Do you watch... sorry, just read that. I'm trying to read some member questions. That's what the green highlighted names are, so... I thank you guys for being YouTube members. Joshua Garrison, do you think it would be a good idea to let Kevin Smith direct a superhero film? No, I do not think it would be a good idea to let Kevin Smith direct a superhero film, because Kevin Smith himself has said, as far as visuals go, it's never his strong suit. That's why you always see like an over-the-shoulder shot in Kevin Smith movies. As far as directing action, he's self-admitted that it's not his strong suit, so I don't think he would be the best thing. But as far as Kevin Smith possibly collaborating on like a script for a superhero movie, as I stutter my way through this, yeah, I think that would be a good idea. All right. Russ Rogers, when was the last time Chris Stuckman you, John? It's been a long time, but not quite long enough. All right. Tyson Sherburne, hey, John, big fan. Why do you want theaters to die? I don't want theaters to die. Not at all, actually. I want theaters to live. Right now, the thing is, though, theaters need a bailout. And I don't think that's a priority. I really don't think theaters should be a priority. You know, if you can release movies on VOD and you can watch them and the studios can make money, that's great. I think, if anything, I actually think studios would like if movie theaters died, because that cuts out the middleman. But as far as movie theaters themselves, no, movie theaters are like a cathartic experience. It's one of my favorite places to go. It's just, the thing is, whenever you go into a movie theater, you have to deal with the people. That's not one of my favorite things. Sometimes people in a theater or in a movie either hinder the experience, ruin it, or make it better. It's just one of those things. It's like you flip a coin every time you go to see a new movie. It's like, are people going to be texting, talking, or is everyone going to enjoy the movie and shut up? It's one of those things that over the years, I've become resentful and anger and bitter in my old age. But I hope theaters continue. You know, if theaters can hold on until this is all over, great. I'll go back to the theater to watch new releases. The other thing is, it's a crazy time, right? So speaking of theaters that need bailouts, yeah, they're gonna be asking the government for a lot of money to sustain and stay shut down and stay around. So that, I don't know how it's going to work out. I hope it does. But as far as like theaters paying their employees, unless you're a general manager at a movie theater, you make no money. You make nothing. You make like minimum wage. I worked at a movie theater as an usher for a couple years, and like I made no money working there. And it's a good part-time job. But I mean, if Here's my question. If the government bails out theaters and gives them a lot of money to sustain and stay closed during this shutdown, are they going to pass on that money to their employees? Because unless they are, then I don't understand what's the point. They're huge corporations. They have millions of dollars. So why are they getting bailed out? That's my thing. But I do like the concept of the movie theater. But the one thing I did want to talk about a little bit more on is drive-in theaters, which are sort of becoming a new hot topic right now. You can open up a drive-in theater if you sit in your car and you get your snacks through a drive-through service. You could watch movies in drive-through theater or drive-in theaters, and that could be like the new thing. That's the safest way to watch a new movie in a group setting per se, and have it projected onto a screen. And I wouldn't mind that. I think that could be a new thing. This whole thing could be a resurgence for drive-in theaters. So I think that might be the future for a while. Maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't mind if I had no choice but to watch a movie in my car. I wouldn't mind doing that, right? Would you? Would you like to go to a drive-in theater? Let me know down below. Jimmy Kerrigan, watch Point Break after I think your favorite action movies or guilty pleasure movies vid, and I loved it. Better Keanu, SOSU, QB, Johnny Utah, or Shane Falco. OSU. Who the fuck is Shane Falco? Who's Shane Falco? Oh, Shane Falco. Yeah, okay. The quarterback. Okay, got it. Which quarterback is better? Yeah, Shane Falco, the quarterback that Keanu Reeves played in the Replacements. Johnny Utah was never about us. It was never about the money, man. It was about us against the system, showing that the human spirit's still alive while everyone else inches down the freeway in middle coffin. I butchered the shit out of that line. Let's move on. Yeah, good job watching Point Break. I'm glad you enjoyed it, man. Point Break's one of my quintessential action films of all time. I think I had Point Break in my favorite action movies of all time video. Yeah, that's which one I had it in. But I love it, man. Utah, give me two, Utah. Gary Busey, you gotta love it. Bernardo, thanks for the Streamlabs donation. You win the lottery for $10 billion. What do you do? Good question. What do I do? What don't I do is the question. I'm a man of simple taste, right? I like the simple pleasures of life. What do I do? Well, I create a small country, and and I don't know. I don't know what I would do. $10 billion. That's a lot of money. I don't know. I guess become Batman, and then I die the next day trying to be a vigilante of the night. Maybe that could be cool. Honestly, probably I'd create a bunker underground that was self-sustaining for many years. I would have that ready to go. Right now, that'd be priority number one. You need some kind of nuclear power to power it for an endless amount of time. I'd probably create a really cool bunker that was underground. That'd be the first step. If I made it large enough, I can invite all of you. That's what I would do. And then once you guys are all in the bunker, right? It'd be a very large bunker. Once you guys are in there, I'd essentially become John Goodman from 10 Cloverfield Lane, and I'd lose all my shit, and then I'd put all of you in drums of acid. No, I wouldn't. I wouldn't do that. We would just sit around playing board games, watching movies. But $10 billion, that's hard to even fathom. I don't know. Like, I don't want a big mansion. I really don't. And like buying cool, expensive cars doesn't really do much for me. I'd probably buy the Tumbler mobile, the Batmobile, the Tumbler, and like a Batman suit, and just drive around in that, making flick trip videos. And honestly, I'd probably hire a camera crew to film my vlog videos. Like, I'd hire Steven Spielberg, James Cameron, and Martin Scorsese to direct my vlog videos. That's what I would. That's what I would do. Henrik Sanchez. David Benioff looks like James Horner. Yeah? Does he? Let me look. Now let me look at James Horner. Let me look at James Horner now. He looks like a younger version. James Horner looks much older. But maybe. That was a random question. What made you want to ask that? Joshua Garrison, have you watched The Office Space? What is your opinion? We just talked about that earlier in the stream. I have seen Office Space many times. Office Space is such a great film. It's sad that the director of the film and writer of the film went on to make that really, what was that other movie he made that they work in a factory and it starred Ben Affleck that was really bad. I was really looking forward to that movie before it came out. But yeah, Office Space is phenomenal, man. It still holds up today. The comedy is perfect. I would love if they made more movies like Office Space. Have you seen Blue is the Warmest Color? I don't think I have. Have you seen The Frighteners? Yes, I have seen The Frighteners. Absolutely. Love the movie. Michael J. Fox. Great like mid-90s movie. And the CG's, it stars Jake Busey, doesn't it, right? I loved it. It's hilarious and over the top. And it definitely doesn't hold back. Yeah, I always remember watching Frighteners. It was always on like HBO as a kid. John Smith, are you still working out? I'm not currently working out anymore. I'm sort of just taking a break until the gym the gym is still open, but I don't trust that. Okay, I'm not gonna go in there just yet. That's like the last place you want to go. The Naked Box, interesting name. Thanks for the Streamlabs donation. Hey John, what's your favorite candy bar? Mine is Blue Symphony with almonds. Not the goddamn red one. No disassemble. No disassemble. Yeah, favorite candy bar. I don't know. I'm like a Snickers guy, maybe a Twix guy. Maybe if I'm feeling a little bit frisky. Ooh, I think I have a. You know what's crazy? I guess it's not that crazy, really. But I have a Butterfinger that I actually just got the urge to eat all of a sudden. That we bought like 2 weeks ago, and I forgot that I had it in a cabinet in my kitchen until just now. So thank you for reminding me of that, because I would have forgot about it until it went stale. By the way, a Butterfinger. Has anyone eaten a Butterfinger since 1997? I remember when they used to use. Take on the Three Musketeers, childhood favorite. I agree. Night King 01. Yes, Brad Pitt with Ortega Spice. Do you think Candyman will go straight to VOD or just have a later release date? Yeah, the Jordan Peele produced Candyman movie. Joshua Garrison. Maybe. It's one of those things. I can only speculate or guess what's going to happen right now with VOD movies and theatrical movies. I would say it's a safe bet. If it's not a blockbuster tentpole release, the odds are that it possibly would go to VOD. If it's something like Wonder Woman, I think theaters and studios are going to want to wait until the last possible date they can. I think a lot of movies are sort of like, okay, if we can't come out now, we'll come out in like August or September. And I think when we get closer to those dates and things aren't improving or theaters are still shut down, they're going to be like, okay, well, we can't come out now. Let's just release it on VOD. So I think we'll have a better indication of what's happening midsummer if things don't clear up before then. But yeah, I had a Butterfinger in 2002. Haven't eaten one since. Yeah, they're sort of like hard to consume. Like after you start eating a Butterfinger, it becomes the driest thing you've ever had in your... That sounds weird. But it just comes really hard to chew, right? John, I feel like John blocked me. Laugh at load. I didn't block you. I'm reading your comment right now. I didn't block you, man. Bart was used for Butterfingers and Butterfinger BBS. Yes, he was. See, that's what I remember always seeing Bart Simpson on the Butterfingers and thinking, oh, if Bart Simpson wants to eat a Butterfinger, that means I do too. This made up animated figure wants to eat this. That makes me want to eat it too. Have you seen Choke with Sam Rockwell? No, I have not. Movie I did a review on. I didn't really love it. I sort of forgot. I forgot about most of it, honestly. I like Matthew Vaughn as a director. Who he directed the first one. I think he also directed the second one, if I remember correctly. Yeah, the first one was good. I didn't love the second one, and now the prequel has been delayed like 15 times. It was supposed to come out. Wasn't Kingsman? The prequel was supposed to come out like months ago, and it was delayed and delayed. I don't even know what's happening with it. I gave up hope for it. So yeah, I liked the first one though. What up, John? Your friend Jacob from South Carolina says, hey, well, hey, Jacob, it's been a long time, man. How are you? I think I ran into, is this the same Jacob I ran into outside of Walmart that one time? Maybe? Possibly? All right, I'm getting an error here. John, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, such as viewers experience buffering. Yeah, I'll figure that out in a second. Let's see if is the stream look okay to you guys? Let me know. Henrik Sanchez, thoughts on today's episode of Better Call Saul? Thanks, Henrik, for the super chat, man. Yeah, the new episode of Better Call Saul, I watched it last night. It airs on Mondays, so you might, what are you, a day behind me? I think you're in another country, right? Yeah, I liked it. I really liked this episode of Better Call Saul because I liked his tactic of recording like a really shitty commercial in front of a green screen to pretty much get what he wants. I liked that aspect of it. I thought that was really fun. Yeah, I liked this episode of Better Call Saul. I thought the last episode was probably the worst one thus far of the season. It felt like a really big filler episode. But yeah, I love Better Call Saul. I'm digging it thus far. Yeah, but I did enjoy that, like, what he did with the green screen footage. I just love Saul Goodman. I like, if I was a lawyer, that's the lawyer I would aspire to be. All right. Jason, thanks for the Streamlabs donation, Jason. John, ever noticed over the last 8 years you have slowly transitioned through all the characters from There's Something About Mary? Which one am I now? Am I Ben Stiller, or am I the guy who's walking around, or am I not Matt Damon? What is his name? I forget his name. Matt Dillon. Yeah, Matt Dillon. Or am I Matt Dillon? Which one am I in? I don't know. I guess sort of in a loose way. Have I transitioned through all the... I don't know. Maybe. All right. I really need to open up this chat box in another window. I guess I could do that. Why am I not doing this? I have a light over here. I have 300 windows open right now, and all I see is questions streaming on the side. So sometimes it gets a little overwhelming and my brain starts melting out of my ear. But thank you guys for bearing with me, and I appreciate it. And thank you guys for joining me. Stream's looking good, lad. Now stop reading my questions out of context. Here's the best thing I can give you is if you have a question, don't separate it into two parts. There's no way I'm going to get both parts the way I look at the stream. I'm Ben Stiller right now. I'll take it. WrestleMania 36. Just kidding. Love your stuff. John, do you ever wish Stand By Me was a bit longer? And I would like to show more scenes with the younger kids and less of the high school teenagers. Yeah, I actually just watched Stand By Me for the 89th time the other day. What did I watch that on? Is it on Netflix or Amazon Prime? What, I don't remember what I watched. No, it's on YouTube TV. I watched it on YouTube TV, which has like commercials. Ugh. But anyway, yeah, it is short. It's Stand by Me is sort of a short movie. It gets right to the point, and I know the novel is a sort of a short novel as well. But hey, it works. It's effective. I do wish there were more scenes with the kids. I think they could have maybe included a few more things. I think there's a deleted scene or two from Stand By Me. If I remember correctly, there's like a few deleted scenes or extended scenes possibly. But it would have been nice to see like the kids hanging out more. Like I like the opening scene where they're in the tree house. I think you could have a few more scenes of them like on the train tracks. Yeah, I just love those coming to age films. Darian Taylor, thanks for the super chat, Darian. Thanks, man. John, do you think $27 a month is worth it for my local gym? That's up to you. You know, that's subjective. It just depends. What does your gym have to offer? Does it have everything that you want to do? Does it have a pool? Does it have a sauna? Does it have all the weights that you need? Is it open 24 hours a day? Do you like do you like the setup? I don't know. That's up to you. I will just tell you this. My gym I currently don't go to. That sounds funny to say. It has everything, and it costs like $23 a month, and it's not open 24 hours, but it's open all the normal hours you would need it to. And there's like a swimming pool, it has a hot tub, it has a sauna. It's brand new. It's state of the art. It has a there's actually a theater room in my gym that has a whole bunch of like treadmills. So if you want to run or do cardio, which I never do, and I just watch movies at home, but they show like movies like Top Gun or like older movies like Lord of the Rings, which is pretty neat. Russ Rogers, how often before the germ apocalypse did people recognize you when you were out and about at the gym? And yeah, at the gym, I've been recognized a few times at the gym. Actually, at my newest gym, there was a viewer that recognized me. His name is Lath. So yeah, if you're watching this, what's up, man? I wonder if you're still going to the gym. But yeah, there's been a few occasions. I remember one time randomly at another Planet Fitness, I was recognized a few times. But usually people always notice me when I'm like at a Best Buy, or I'm in like the movie section of a store, or maybe at like a movie theater seem to be the most typical place people notice me. And I guess that makes sense for the demographic of people who would probably subscribe to me. Okay. People were talking about Topher Grace for some reason. I don't know why. Topher Grace. Would you like to see my impression of Topher Grace? My spider senses are tingling. That's all I have. Have you seen The Untouchables with Kevin Costner? Of course I have. Something about like every 80s and early 90s movie had to star Kevin Costner. No matter if he was right for the role, it just starred Kevin Costner. Yeah, I have seen the Untouchables. Fun story. Originally, instead of Robert De Niro playing Capone, they actually had Bob Hoskins, I believe, was attached to the role. Darian Taylor. Thanks for the super chat, Darian. What's your favorite dark comedy? Fargo is definitely one of my favorite dark comedies. I think American Psycho is one of my second favorite dark comedies, and Nightcrawler is probably my third favorite. I don't know if I'd put them in that order. Honestly, I think American Psycho is by far the funniest of the three. But yeah, those are a few of my favorite dark comedies off the top of my head. Jason, thanks for the Streamlabs donation, Jason. Lord of War, Middlemen, how have these never been talked about? Much love from Ohio, kisses and hugs. Well, thank you, Jason, for the kisses and hugs. And I feel like you just gave me CV just by saying that. Yeah, Lord of War, I've talked about it extensively. I think it's one of the most underrated films of all time. I love Lord of War. So underrated. Probably my favorite Nicolas Cage movie. Also, Middlemen is sort of like, they're similar movies, right? They sort of follow one man's journey, and he has like a corrupt business model that he's doing, and he's a very flawed character that you sort of want to root for. Yeah, they're similar movies that share that same tone. I remember watching Middlemen once. I didn't love it as much. It stars Luke Wilson, I believe. But Lord of War, I highly recommend everyone watching. Darian Taylor. We just answered that. Mexican Monkey. Thank you for the super chat donation. What a great name. What a great name you have there. All right, guys. What I'm going to do is we're going to continue on with the live stream. I'm going to get a refill of some energy. I'm going to get a refill of an energy drink here. But if you guys want to refill your popcorn and put some more ice cubes in your tasty beverages, or get some more whatever you want to do, I'm going to take a quick break. I will be right back in just a few minutes. So, yeah, if you guys have a few questions, post them right now. I'll answer them immediately when I come back. So, yeah, I'll be back in just a few seconds, guys. Don't go anywhere. Are you not entertained? All right. Hey there, guys. How are you? I just wanted to put this on for you. It felt really neat. Could you imagine battling wearing this? I can't even breathe in this. This right here is crushing my nose right now. I don't know how Maximus Decimus Meridius wore this. Father to a dead son, husband to a dead wife, and I will have my vengeance on YouTube in this life or the next. Yeah, so I just wanted to wear that for you guys. Okay. Ooh, that smelled like burning metal inside of that thing. Henrik Sanchez. Henrik Sanchez, thanks for the super chat. What was your last dream? Ooh, do you really want to know? I don't know. My last dream? I don't know. I feel like I had a dream that I think I had a dream that someone hacked into my YouTube channel and deleted all my videos. I think that was one dream I had recently. But yeah, I think that was legitimately the last dream I had. Maybe. So anyway, but yeah, with that said, I wanted to tell you guys a story right now, and thank you guys for all the Streamlab donations and all the Super Chat donations. But right now, what I'm currently doing is, for many years, I have been with a network on YouTube called Full Screen, and it's been bittersweet recently, and I sort of demanded my release from them, and they gave it to me today, so in the meantime, I think what happens is this channel is on hiatus, so I don't know if monetization is working, or I'll have to reapply for it, and then that takes like 30 right now. And I don't know what's happening. No one can truly explain it to me. So when I disconnected from this network I was with, to get everything set up might take time, and it's a little bit confusing. So that's why I was a little bit iffy on super chats today, because I'm like, I don't know what's going to, like, I'll eventually get them, but I don't know when or how, and no one can really give me an answer. So Yeah, if you guys make YouTube videos, never sign with an MCN, a multi-channel network. That's the best advice I can ever give you. All right. So with that said, let's dive into some more questions from you guys. Keep it fun, keep it light. Answer a few more questions before I take off here. Hey John, where can I get your autograph? Eventually, if I open up another P.O. box, man, you can send me what you want. And if you send me a stamp with whatever, I will write it. I will sign it with my own blood, my sweat, and my tears, and I will send it back to you. Thoughts on how Mel Gibson almost played Maximus? That would have been awesome. I think Russell Crowe was the right choice, but I do remember reading that Mel Gibson almost did play the role. I think he would have done a good job, but Russell Crowe was perfect for the role. John, have you seen Locky? It's a movie with literally just Tom Hardy driving around in it to a hospital. Better than it sounds. I recommend it. I did watch it. That was like, what was that? A 2012 movie, 2011 movie. I remember watching it, dude, when it came out. I don't remember a lot about it though. I remember almost nothing about it. That was at a time when we were getting a lot of those movies where like it just takes place in one location and has a budget of like $10. Like the Ryan Reynolds movie where he's buried. That was sort of an intense movie. Can you say Christian? Christian. John, have you ever watched Rudy Kobe on YouTube? I have not. John, could you beat up Vin Diesel? Probably. Family. Shut up! This ain't Triple X Part 3. All right. John, would you like to see Toby return as Spider-Man? No. Only, actually, if they did like a live action Into the Spider-Verse movie and they needed an older Peter Parker, then Toby would work for that. In that way, yes. That's the way I would like to see Toby return as Spider-Man. Thoughts on the 2007 Halloween remake? Didn't like it. The little kid they cast to play young Michael Myers, I was like, bad casting choice. I just was like, that kid's not Michael Myers. I was like, he's beating up some other kids with like a little twig at one point in the movie. It didn't look like that kid was going to grow up to be Michael Myers. I just didn't see that like eeriness behind his eyes. Jason, thanks for the Streamlabs donation. Mr. John, me and you, Point Break sequel, the good one, interested. I will find the money. We shall be famous, sir. Maybe, possibly. Are you saying like make a new Point Break movie? Like reboot it? Because I would be... God, the Point Break reboot was one of the most atrocious things I've ever seen in my life. Oh, that was so cheap and junky. I hated it. Yeah, but yeah, you bring the budget. You give me like $40 million. You send it to me right now on PayPal. I will dedicate my life to making a new Point Break movie. If I can get the rights. If I can't, I'll just pocket the cash and move away. Or buy a Batmobile. All right. Thoughts on the 40-year-old virgin from Russ Rogers. I love that. I love the 40-year-old virgin, man. That was like the first introduction I had to like Seth Rogen and Jonah Hill. And I think that was the first time I saw what's his name? Michael Scott. Yeah, I liked it. He looks like a man-o'-lantern. Yeah. That and watching 40-year-old virgin almost made me want to go get a job at Circuit City. I was like, oh man, working in an electronics store looks like so much fun. Thoughts on Pixar's Soul? All I know is it's delayed. I was sort of looking forward to it. It's sort of a bizarre concept though. It's one of those movies like Pixar's Soul that I don't see a lot of little kids like clamoring. Hey, mommy, I want to go see Pixar's Soul. It's not like the next Toy Story movie, so I was sort of intrigued to see how well it would do. It definitely looked like one of their more adult animated movies. But you know, with that said, what's with the newest trend of Pixar movies? Like you had Inside Out, then you had like Pixar's Soul, and it's like now the animation characters when they're in like the when it's not set in reality, they're just like little blobby shapes that represent the characters. They're not. Does anyone else notice that newest trend? Like Inside Out, it's like here's anger, here's fear, here's it's just like a blob shape. And then also in Soul, it's sort of the same thing. Am I crazy? Do I sound utterly insane right now? Have you ever worked at a call center before? Yeah, actually I have. I worked for a cell phone company back in 2007, and I hated every second of it. And people would call in. Well, sometimes, I worked in the call center, and the guy beside me, he was like this guy who was in like a metal cover band, and he had like a ponytail, and we just sat there and joke all day. But the thing is, with the call center I worked at, you could push this button whenever your phone was beeping, and if you push the button, that meant the call would go to the next person. So I remember one time me and my friend sat there and we pushed these buttons so we didn't get any new phone calls for like 3 hours. And then he got fired because they were listening in, but they weren't listening to mine. So that was nice. But yeah, I did work at a call center. I hated it. I think I quit after like maybe 4 months or something. It was really tough because I was going to college at the time, full time, and then I'd go to work at the call center at like 6 o'clock to 11 o'clock at night, and then I'd go home, do homework, and have to be back up at school at like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I just couldn't do it. But yeah, I did work at a call center. Favorite space movie? Whew. Avatar. No, I'm lying to you. I don't know. Beyond Star Wars? Maybe Aliens? There's a lot of space movies that I want to be better than they are, right? There's a lot that I like, but I don't love. Movies like Interstellar. Like, I really liked some of the aspects in space, but as far as the overall movie, I didn't love it. Then I liked Star Trek, the 2009 Star Trek film by J.J. Abrams. I liked that. But there's a lot of space sci-fi films that you want to be better. I have a guilty pleasure movie that takes place in space. Don't judge me. Maybe Armageddon. Guilty pleasure. Don't judge me, please. Joshua Garrison says, I work at a health insurance call center. Well, how do you like it? Working at a call center sounds like a nightmare. It is. And I remember always going into the call center and there's like, you share headphones with everyone else and it just feels so dirty. Doyle's status. Thanks for the super chat, Doyle. You should watch Black Sea with Jude Law on Netflix. Okay, I will look into it. I have not seen it. I haven't seen a Jude Law movie in a couple years. So yeah, if you say it's good, I'll check into. I will at least watch the trailer. How's that for you? And by the way, thanks for all 355 of you guys joining me tonight. Wow, how long have we been talking? How long have I been doing this? It's 11:30. I think I started at 9:30. Time flies when you're making stream videos on YouTube. It's a job. Well, hey, it is a job, man. And hey, the thing, it's a job, right? At least it hasn't closed down yet. That's always good, right? Do you watch UFC? Occasionally, if it's like a big fight, I watch it. I don't usually typically watch every UFC fight, though. If there's like a major fight I'm really interested in, I'll try to catch it somehow. Interstellar is awesome, but the ending sucks. Donkey frosting. Yeah, the ending took me right out of the movie. I will say that. I also thought there were some missed opportunities along the way, and I thought my biggest complaint with Interstellar was Casey Affleck's character just became an insane person for no reason. Like he goes mentally insane. I just couldn't buy into that transition. Aldo Montefar. Montefar. Thanks for the super chat. Thoughts on Children of Men? Love it. Great post-apocalyptic movie. I kind of feel like watching it now that you just mentioned it. Clive Owen's phenomenal in the film. And I love the way that movie's filmed and the look of it. Definitely a look into the future. I will say that. Very likely scenario. Pixel Talk. Thanks for the super chat, Pixel Talk. Jacob Hubbard. Hey, Jacob. Yes, it's me from Walmart. Keep doing what you do. Hey, Jacob. Long time no talk, man. Thanks for the super chat. Yeah, I once met Jacob. I was walking outside of a Walmart in South Carolina with my pal, Crazy Jason, and Jacob confronted me in the parking lot. So yeah, that was many years ago. That was like, what, 2017? Man or Taze 124, thanks for the super chat. What is your opinion on the movie Weird Science? Got that exact same question in the last live stream. I have the Steelbook of Weird Science. I love the 1980s film Weird Science. It's so fun, and Bill Paxton in that movie is phenomenal. And I told a story on the last live stream of trying to bring G.I. Joes and Barbie dolls to life with a microwave. So that was a good time. Don't do that when you're 5 years old. Jeremy Pruss, thanks for the super chat. Advice for aspiring filmmaker following dreams. I'm not really, I wouldn't say I'm a filmmaker per se, but if you are, I think the best advice I have for you is it depends what you want to do with it. If you want to make films, start making your films. You have to write a script that you can do. Write a doable script that has obtainable things in it. So don't write the next Avatar movie. Write something that you can produce or create for a very small or no budget that you know you can rely on your friends. If you don't have any friends like me, make a movie about one guy. Try to film it in one location. Really craft your talents. Just make something, produce something. But don't only do that. The thing is with filmmakers, you need to get paid for your effort, your work, your art. So make something that you want to submit to a film festival. Get your name out there. Do your best. Submit it. Hopefully you win, and get some name recognition and some credit for what you're doing. And then beyond that, if you are a filmmaker and you're possibly going to school right now, or you want to go to school, pursue that, and maybe work in the commercial side of things. If you can work on commercials or producing corporate content, something to get a paycheck, but using your craft, that's also a good idea to do. Those are the things I would do if I was pursuing it. But yeah, make some short films, man. Top 3 of 2019. You'll just have to wait for my top 10 list. Love doesn't conquer shit. It's a made-up concept designed by wedding planners. But no, man. If you're on the other side of the galaxy, you can move books on someone's bookshelf. That's what it's all gonna lead to. Come on. Jason, thanks for the Streamlabs donation. Check out Imagine Dragons. John. It'll change your life. Or favorite Imagine Dragons song. Until next time. Imagine Dragons. Okay. I'll put it on the list, as Captain America would say. Imagine Dragons. I'll look into it. But thanks, man. I can't really listen to it right now with the copyright stuff going on. All right, let's answer a few more questions, guys, because Amber just made some brownies, and they smell really good, and I want to go eat them along with that Butterfinger I mentioned previously, because I think I'm about to have a sugar crash right now, and I always like to at least give you guys 2 hours of mind-boggling, visceral entertainment, such as I've done tonight, because it's the least I can do. By saying that, I meant the lowest form of entertainment I can possibly offer you. But if you guys are bored right now, sitting at home with nothing to do, like me, let me know down below. What are you guys doing tonight? What are you gonna, after this stream is over, what are you going to go do? That's what I want to know. I always like to know what you guys are doing. And also, with that question, can you guys type in where you're from or where you're at right now as you watch Watch my stupid face. Do you like Jaws 2? It's okay. It's okay. Why is there a Jaws 2? I don't know. I always just like the first one. Jaws 3D is a hilarious bad movie. Do you think Parasite should have won? I do. Yeah, it did win, and I'm glad it did. That's the one I would have voted for. No, not a special brownie, Russ. Just a normal brownie. I might actually eat the brownie with some ice cream, like vanilla ice cream and a brownie. Ooh, that just gave me tingles all over my body. Illinois, thoughts on the Apocalypse Now? I like it. It's not the most rewatchable movie, but I like the helicopter flying sequences with the music. In Colorado, Illinois, Gatlinburg, Tennessee. I went to Gatlinburg, Tennessee for a vacation. We stayed in a log cabin up in the mountains. Probably drink and watch Mark Plyer. Haha. South Carolina. Oh, I used to live in South Carolina. Yuma, Arizona. I'm in Ohio. Russ Rogers is in Ohio. Russ Rogers, aren't you in Bowling Green? Or am I making that up? Or is that somebody else? I'll probably either play Friday the 13th or find a film to watch. I live in Berberville, Kentucky. Yeah, you should play Zombies Ate My Neighbors, man. That's what I would do. Is Nightcrawler overrated? Absolutely not. You shut your mouth. You know it's not. Best movie ever, Walking Violence. Rob K, Tampa. I'm watching all the action movies I missed since 1999. Yeah, well, that's good. Steady Hands, Michigan, Chicago, Montreal, Texas. Yeah, all over the place. It's crazy. It always baffles my brain that it's like all these people in different locations can come together right now. It's just... Technology is scary, isn't it? By the way, would you guys like to see... Let me ask you this. Would you be down if I did some live streaming with video games? Not new video games, like retro classic SNES video games. Would you guys be down for like a live stream playing some of those? And I could answer questions as I play them? It could be entertaining. I don't know. I'm looking into it. I will put it that way. Do you like Liar Liar with Jim Carrey? Yeah, I like Liar Liar with Jim Carrey. Is Parasite worth the hype? Absolutely. Parasite's one of my favorite movies of the year. I've been watching tons of zombie movies. Yeah, I sort of feel like watching World War Z right now. I have some issues with the movie, but I do really enjoy it. That sounds fun. 100% yes from John and Joshua. Yeah, okay. Play GTA. I don't have GTA. All I have is an SNES Classic back here. So if you can donate an Xbox One, I will play it. But until then, I'm playing my SNES Classic, and I'll play F-Zero, Zombies Ate My Neighbors, Super Mario World, and whatever else is on there. Do they have what fighting games do they have on the SNES Classic? Do they have any? They have Street Fighter, right? Okay. John, take your shirt off. Absolutely not. Do you like the Truman Show? Yes, I do. All right, guys, I'm going to answer a few more questions, then I'm going to take off so I can eat my brownies. Jonah Hill is Hellboy. Absolutely. Yes, please. I want the 2007 version of Jonah Hill as Hellboy. Yes. How do you even stream those? Good question. I have to figure it out. I think I can do it. I use a Elgato 4-link adapter for my camera, so I think I can plug my TV into that and then use my crappier, older webcam to capture my face rather than use my good camera. That's how I think I can do it. Favorite artsy film? My favorite newest artsy film is probably The Lighthouse. Stream Mortal Kombat. Yeah, Mortal Kombat. I would love to play Mortal Kombat. I need to brush up on how to do fatalities. Back in like 1998, I could probably do like 50. I could probably do 50 fatalities on that game. Now I can't remember a single one. John, can we expect your next YouTube? You can expect a YouTube video coming to the Flick Pick channel tomorrow. Henrik Sanchez, thanks for the super chat, Henrik. Still waiting for a collab with Ryan Gosling. Is that a thing? Did I ever say that? I'm waiting for it too. And then in the video, I make some really valid point about something, some profound thought, and then Ryan Gosling in his normal acting style just looks into the distance and has a tear trickle out of his eye. Such an understated performance. Yeah. Manortays124, thanks for the super chat, man. Opinions on Bubble Boy. Why is it every super chat I get the same 5 questions that are so random, but they get asked over and over again? I like Bubble Boy. It's okay. It's definitely a product of its times from the late 90s. It was my first introduction to Jake Gyllenhaal, and right now, if I could be Bubble Boy in society, I would do it. It's the only way to stay safe. Do you use Reddit? Yeah, I actually use Reddit often. I don't actually use it. I just read forums on Reddit about random topics that I have a question about. The most random topics of all time. But I like to see people's responses. So that's what I use Reddit for. Have you considered reviewing more classic films from Joshua? I have considered it, especially now if new movies aren't coming out. There's definitely a handful of movies I would like to talk about, but it's sort of, I might have a different format rather than just doing a typical review on how I would talk about them. So that's a possibility. That's something it's sort of like a thing I'm working on. I'm trying to perfect it. John, super serious questions. Can you stay Sour Patch or Monster? What do you pick? Honestly, I probably consume more Monsters than I do Sour Patch Kids. Sour Patch Kids, I usually only eat when I go to see a movie, but a Monster I probably drink one a day. And Monsters are a necessity when I make live streams. Like, I need the energy to, like, be energetic and do these live streams. Believe it or not, guys, I'm not always this energetic in real life. If you find me on a typical day, I'm probably laying on my couch in the fetal position, eating ice cream sandwiches, watching YouTube videos. That's typically what I'm doing. I'm going to bring this up to my face like this. Favorite Harry Potter movie from Uo Duck 6? I'm not a hardcore Harry Potter fan. I liked the first one, directed by Christopher Columbus, who directed the Home Alone movies. I liked the first Harry Potter movie. Gabe Esker. Hey Gabe, how's it going, man? Think I'm going to watch Gentleman on VOD tonight. The Gentleman, yeah. What did you think? That's a good movie. Did I have to do my Nicolas Cage thing? I might watch. I have not seen The Gentleman, the Guy Ritchie movie. Or is it Guy Ritchie or Matthew Vaughn? I'm sure somebody could tell me. Yeah, I did hear good things about that. I did want to check out The Gentleman because I like movies about criminals. So maybe I'll look into that too. MRB 120479. 120479. Okay. Thanks for the super chat, man. What do you think of The Hate You Give? I don't think I've seen The Hate You Give. Is that a movie or am I making things up? The Hate You Give. It's got 95%. Star Carter is constantly switching between two worlds: the poor, mostly black neighborhood where he lives, and the wealthy, mostly prep. Came out in 2018. I haven't seen it. Looks like it's got good ratings. Dude, there's just so many movies. You guys recommend a ton of movies, and I will watch the trailer and see if I'm intrigued. Right now, I would have to. There's 87 other movies I need to watch first. Alfie Penner, thanks for the super chat. Alfie, thank you for that, man. All right. Do you still talk to Cosplay Chris? I occasionally, maybe not. Like, we comment on each other's stuff every once in a while. I keep up on his videos. Super talented guy, man. And I still have his Batman v Superman figure back there that he sent me back in like 2016. I just read that comment. Thoughts on Con Air? Cyrus the Virus for life, man. quintessential action movie from the late 90s. That, Broken Arrow, and Face Off. You got to watch all three. Oh, Jesus. All right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. Thank you guys for all the great questions. I do appreciate it very much. You guys are awesome. Thanks for once again, honestly, big thanks for the Super Chats and the Streamlab donations. It helps make the live streams possible and pay the internet bill to make more YouTube videos. But as always, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope you guys are staying safe. Go watch some movies on Netflix or watch more of my YouTube videos, whatever you want. But what are you doing tonight, brownies, man? Good question, and I'll wrap it up with this question. Probably going to go eat some brownies, some ice cream. Maybe if I'm feeling a little bit frisky, maybe eat that Butterfinger, drink a Diet Dr. Pepper, and probably watch something on TV. I'm not sure which movie I want to watch. Something. I'm not sure yet. I don't know. I'll try to find something good to eat. I don't know. I kind of want to watch a post-apocalyptic movie. So I'm not sure. Yeah, but anyway, good night, guys. Thank you so much. Stay safe. You a like. It does mean a lot. It does help that stupid YouTube algorithm. As always, stay safe, guys. And have a good night. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.